and welcome to the ELEAGUE CSGO Invitational. We're here in Atlanta, Georgia. Really looking forward to this one. I'm Golden Boy. Typically, you'll find me on the stage, but this time behind the desk. And thankfully, I have some great minds in Counter-Strike to talk about all the action that we're going to see this weekend. We got the all-seeing cranium of Counter-Strike. We got Moses here, yes. And then Mr. Good-Looking himself, Sean Garris. How you doing, guys?
Indeed, I'm doing pretty good. Only man from
See,
New Orleans.
I got you. I gave you a good one there.
Only man from New Orleans that made it to Atlanta.
Oh, wow. And that billboard.
The rest got robbed.
That's not bad.
That's true.
Yeah, there's
That's
like one billboard in Atlanta that has the Saints on it. God bless. You know, but beyond that, though, it's going to be a fun weekend here of Counter-Strike. Honestly, couldn't be more excited. First time for me doing something like this, and I kind of want to, just before we move on, Moses, how you doing? I didn't get to ask you. How you doing, buddy?
We've got blistering hot lava tea in these cups, so that makes me really happy.
Yes, yes, indeed it does. Indeed it does. What also makes me happy, you're going to hear this all weekend, by the way. Great transitions. Is the bracket that we got lined up here. Let's go. So, ELEAGUE looking to prove that they can stretch a 14 tournament over 3 days. Here we go. So we got Faze Clan versus Cloud9. That's going to be your first matchup. And then Big versus Complexity. Now, I joke, but this is actually a very exciting competition for these four teams because a lot of them, we really don't know what to expect. There was the iBuy Powerland that happened just the other day, but
it did happen.
It did happen. It was a thing. But this is, I guess, like a good opportunity to get an idea of how these teams are going to perform here going into the major.
This event is a litmus test for all of these teams. They all have roster changes. FaZe Clan obviously bring in a Dren. Cloud9 bring in Celsius. Both of those players didn't particularly play well last week at the iBuy tournament that Jason was at.
Yeah, I was there. And the nice thing is, with all these new roster changes, these teams, the double elimination BO3 format, you're going to get a lot of maps in. Like, even if you lose them, you're getting 4 maps, definitely, right? So you get a decent amount of chances to kind of fix some of the mistakes, kind of build upon some of the things you did well. I love this format. We haven't seen it in ages. I'd like to see it with, like, 16 teams, obviously. That would be stretching a tournament.
Well, also, you're excited. Well, so is Tarek as well. All 4 teams in the ELEAGUE TV Invitational, excuse me, have new rosters. Should be a cool event to spectate. See you guys in the chat later today. Lol. Hashtag bench.
Yikes. Trending hashtag.
You know, you hate to see it, but thank you so much for the excitement. But now it is your countdown to game time, brought to you by Domino's. And we have our first matchup. It's going to be Cloud9 versus FaZe, and very interesting game, to say the least. Let's go ahead and jump into this one real fast. First, just initial reactions on this Cloud9 FaZe matchup. What do you think we're going to see here today, Moses?
This is intriguing to me because there's like this weird, I don't know why people are so down on this Cloud9 lineup. I think they've showed great promise early on, and so along with some of the roster issues that they've had, and I think there's going to be some cool stuff. I think this is a much better team than the average person believes them to be. And on the FaZe side of things, obviously they've got the big names, they've still got some talent, but to me, FaZe feels like they're like one match away from just going up, from just being done.
Wow. Speaking of one match, Jason, you know how many maps FaZe has won in the last 14 games? One.
One.
Wow. One out of the last 14. So yeah, I think Cloud9 is definitely on the rise, whereas FaZe clearly is plummeting based on the recent results. I am one that sides with Yanko, though. I think Yanko can do a lot for this team.
Okay.
I think it can too. I don't know about in a week's time. That's
well, you know, let's not get. We have some time for predictions. But we do want to hear from the chat. You see? You like that one there? It's going to happen all weekend long. Just get used to it, people. So we want to hear from you guys in the chat. It's very easy. All you got to do is vote in the Twitch chat right now. Who do you think is going to win? Use all caps for this one, so it will be capital C9, no lol, just C9, okay? And then it's going to be all caps FaZe. Vote in the chat right now. Let us know who you think is going to win. This is for the whole match, by the way. So who do you think is going to win this best of 3 between FaZe and Cloud9? But speaking of FaZe and Cloud9, I actually want to take you guys back to January 28th, 2018, what many would call one of the greatest grand finals in the history of not only Counter-Strike, but also esports. We had the pleasure of being there ourselves. It was such an incredible moment. It was FaZe versus Cloud9. That's right. That's a good one. Let's actually go ahead.
We're down to the final 2. Representing Europe, the juggernauts of the game, FaZe Clan! Representing the United States of America, Cloud9! The finals start now.
Skadoodle is on fire. There's no fear right now from Cloud9.
7
2-1 Cloud9.
Guardian will not stop. One more to go, and Guardian gets them all. Olafmeister with the off angle, and there seems to be nothing that Cloud9 can do.
Faze Clan take the first map of this series.
Cloud9 versus Faze.
And Cloud9 are all over this round once again.
As Tarek waits patiently. Oh, that is phenomenal. Map 2 in the bag, and now they're back in it. We go to a third. Oh, he gets 2. That's outrageous stuff. Now Skadoodle back at work. Really good from Skadoodle, but the work is not done just yet.
Tarek looking for some shenanigans. There's a flashbang. He's good for 2. This is insane. Everybody here for both teams. Oh my God, Stewie 2K. They have to run away. It's match point Faze. Stewie is going absolutely crazy. There's no time to plant the bomb. It's too late. The money's not there. One more round. Look at the time. There's 7 seconds to plant the bomb. They're trying to build pyramids, but there's no more clay. Stewie's won a round. We're going to overtime.
How have they done that? Let's go. They came back all the way. It's Tarek all the way. 3 rounds in a row.
Match point Cloud9. Guardian, he's the only man standing between Cloud9 and the Major. It's going to be a double peak. There's the first one.
With 12.
Is there time though? Is there time? I'm not sure if there is. It's going to be a close one. And he's done it.
It's before, but this time he's been discovered. He has the frag.
They're touching the bomb. And now goes Rain. Another bomb that is trying to defuse it again. But no, Guardian gets taken down. Absolutely unreal round from Cloud9.
Tarek is the god. He cannot miss a single shot. Guardian waits patiently as Cloud9 set the push up. Oh, it's happened. They made it work. Cloud9 are your ELEAGUE Major champions.
That is the most insane way to win a major.
I think we just saw the greatest major final of all time.
That's right, my bald friend Richard. We miss you dearly, but yes, amazing grand final. I remember being on the floor, watching that whole match, and just like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Just shocked. Like every play, every moment was so great.
Yeah, there was a lot of really good stuff. I actually had production queue up my favorite moment of that entire grand final. If you guys can bring that up for me, just any second now.
Welcome to the stage, Cloud9!
It's great.
You know what?
Puberty is fun, isn't it?
Okay, listen. All right, in my defense, I had the flu, okay? I was very sick, but yet I still showed up, all right? You know, I showed up, and that's
You committed to
that's
that
the
voice
most I
crack,
could,
and it was
that's the most
beautiful.
I could say for you, my bald and beautiful friend. As a matter of fact, I don't know, wasn't there like some crazy, didn't you get like stabbed? I mean, you hate being stabbed in the back, right? Kind of like this right here.
The only way...
Oh yeah. Hey Moses, how's that awareness, bro?
Ben backstab on my brother. It's not great.
Blinded by all
Yeah, I
the
know.
pies to the face.
So there you go. There you go. All right. And one thing I am going to say though is I also blame ELEAGUE production for this because they were trying to get me to egg you on, and then I knew you were going to egg me on, and then
listen, we'll
you
get
guys,
production
you think
back.
you're smart. We'll get them back somehow, some way.
I say we each pick a moment in this show to swear and see if they're on their team.
Well, I'm sure there will be plenty moments to do that.
It's coming, boys.
Let's actually reflect though, because while that was one of the greatest grand finals ever, way back when in the day of 2018, times have certainly changed for these teams. I mean, big changes, roster changes, performance, everything. And actually we have a nifty little graph to represent this here. And you kind of see Cloud9 just go all the way down and then come right back up again.
You can see the free falls when Stewie left and then when Tarek left, and it's just like, oh dear, like those hurt so bad. That Cloud9 free fall hurts.
Indeed, yeah. They went with the cryptocurrency trajectory right there. But now they are on the upswing. Jason, you are buying low, and I can respect that.
I'm buying very low.
So I can respect that. Faze looks like they're in the shape to do what Cloud9 did in 2018 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see like what happens here, right? But this Cloud9 roster certainly looks very interesting on paper. And, I mean, initially we have to kind of address the legends that are on this team, the names that are on this team that have performed in tournaments time and time again, but they also have some new faces as well.
This roster has, what, 7 major trophies behind it across all the players. So, I mean, sneakily, they've had a lot of success as individuals, and you look at it, and it is kind of like, it feels like they're putting 3 puzzles together in one attempt right here. I think the big one is going to be Zelsis. This is a team you have to admire it, going down and finding, again, another very inexperienced player that they see potential in. Even, I believe it was what, Rush giving that interview where he's like, he needs more time and he's going to get it. He's got all the experience in the world around him to be able to kind of build up slowly and comfortably and not have to do too much too early.
Yeah, and Zelsis is one of those players that can bring the mood of the team up. If you ever watched any of his streams, he's very positive. He always has good things to say. Yeah. So in addition, he's obviously an excellent player. That's how he ended up on this squad with major winners.
Yeah, and then also there's the interesting, I guess, position here with Golden and Flusha, right? Like there was an interview that was just put out, right? Rush talking about how they like head style that Golden will bring to the table. I don't know.
It's only frantic if you're not Swedish. It's a very Swedish style. It's very like fast reacting and very like intuitive based off how an individual reads the situation. And obviously we've seen the Swedish teams between Fnatic and NIP over the years have success with it. And it's going to be tough if you're not grown up in that system. Americans aren't used to making that kind of a snap judgment, and nor does our scene really have the amount of intelligent players who play that style.
I do think the Cloud9 played an extremely aggressive style last ELEAGUE major, but it's very different from this Flusha style, which is a little bit more methodical and not, structured in set executes.
Yeah, well, and then also, you have some a new player in there, and we had touched on it briefly, Zelsis. This guy coming into it. I mean, I hadn't heard of him, relative unknown. Like, what is it about this guy? Why does Cloud9 believe in him? What does he bring to the table for this C9 roster?
I think he's just one of those young players that's willing to accept criticism. That's so rare in the American scene. I'm sure Jason can attest to that. He's a very skilled aimer, and he's been on Swole Patrol for quite some time with my ex-teammate Freakazoid, so he's grown a lot in the last year as a player.
What I saw from him at iBuyPower was that when the positions he plays pretty smart Counter-Strike, and when the action comes to him in his spot, he's very, very comfortable, and he's very good at dealing with it, and he does an effective job in his position. It's when he's got to rotate out to another part of the map, when he's got to go kind of salvage a situation or help. He gets a little bit lost, I think, in the transition at this level of play, and that's where the learning curve is going to be.
Yeah, and this matchup as well, while living in the present, we have to kind of reflect on the past. But you talked about the ELEAGUE major just a little while ago, but also these two teams have squared off in the past, and there's some results that don't really favor Faze. It's been really just Cloud9. This was from Blast Pro Series in Lisbon, 16-12. That went to Cloud9. They're looking solid there, and they just kept that one going, then moving into the next Blast event.
Yeah, and it's been like this really all of 2018 since that major. It seemed like something happened for Cloud9 at that major where they solved Faze. Because before that major, they had so many struggles against Faze. They had a very good team in the top 5 going into that major, but Faze had their number at every bout.
Faze just having PTSD every time they play the game. I think the craziest thing about these two matchups is that those are victories with different lineups each time for Cloud9. Like Cloud9's beat them with 3 or 4 different lineups in the past year. So yeah, that's not a great track record for Faze.
Yeah, or it could just be the blue on the other side of the stage, right? Like you said, it just stuns them. They don't know what to do. Well, speaking of Faze, let's actually go into the roster for Faze, and they have some new additions there as well, whether it's on the player side and most famously in the coaching side here, but you're going to notice a Dren over there on the far left. This guy coming into this roster. All right, so discussions on Faze. How do you guys feel about this team?
Oof. I mean, Nico's definitely a top 3 player in the world. He will always perform for them. In-game leader, I don't know. To be honest, the jury's still out on that. Rain and Guardian have seemed to fallen off a little bit in these recent Faze struggles.
But he's still the top 20, what is it, every year in HLTV that has been created. So, that's pretty impressive, right? Can't really fall off.
It is. But in the recent struggles, this is literally only the last 14 games or so, those two guys haven't been in their form when Faze was dominant.
Okay.
For me, this event for Faze, because I don't want to talk about these individuals. If you follow Counter-Strike at any capacity, you know all about every single one of them. This event for me for Faze has to be like their come to Jesus moment. This has to be the one where they just say, we're not as good as we used to be, either as a team or as individuals. We can't just go into the server and blow people out and run them over the way we did in that New York event where everyone was in all 5 players in the top 5 or whatever. You're not going to be able to dominate teams anymore and individual skills. So this has to be where they kind of understand and agree to kind of try and recreate the way they play to be effective, because they haven't been effective recently.
But you do need that individual in some aspects, I would imagine, to step up, right? Nico played very well at iBuyPower. So
It's always Nico.
yeah. Okay. So, but like, that's what I'm saying. And then also another thing you mentioned that I thought was very, very interesting point to take away from it. You said like kind of a come to Jesus moment for this team, and they have drastic changes in their coaching now. We did have a chance to speak to Yanko in the back earlier. He said that he's feeling pretty good about this roster. Obviously, he has to be positive about the roster, but at the same time, like he's never one to really like fudge his words. And I think if he's feeling positive about this team and how they can perform, I think he views this as kind of like a litmus test for this roster as well.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he has to stay positive with it, right? He just joined the team. They haven't had much practice. They did play a quite strong team Ghost at iBuyPower, and they played him on the same map twice. It's a weird scenario. Today, they're going to have a lot more of a better environment that fits them compared to that iBuyPower tournament.
Yeah.
And I mean, just more from Yanko is that he just feels like in the short time he's been in this team, they've been very receptive to his ideas and been very receptive and open and willing to try new things in the very brief amount of time they've had to practice together. So already that feels like it's going to be improvement for Yanko, who's trying to make this team, get them back to that level they were at.
They're definitely going to need an X factor.
Oh, yeah,
That's right. That's right. They're going to need
to be Jesus.
So let's take a look at tonight's Hyper X Factor. And it's going to be this guy right here. New player on the team. You have a Dren. And, I mean, just such a storied history as well for this player. He's going to bring a lot of experience to this Faze roster that already has a ton of experience. What can you tell me some more about a Dren here?
I mean, remember, he's the major MVP. I mean, he's been an incredibly versatile player. We've seen him do a number of things, whether it's rifling, whether he's at an all-star caliber doing that, whether he's picking up the AWP, not too frequently, and he's also done some in-game leading, but he's just got a wealth of experience. He's one of those guys who goes back to previous iterations of Counter-Strike and winning majors in those previous eras that are so far gone. So for him coming into this team, I think it's going to be a lot more of being able to utilize that experience they all have and just give a fresh look of how they can play and how they can change some things around.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that and Sean, anything you want to add, buddy? You know,
No, I
dude,
completely
Moses,
agree.
He killed that whole thing.
Yep.
My bad.
Top to bottom, dude. Moses just hopped on the train and he was gone. You know? All right. Well,
Yeah, he was opening a laptop and everything, so I was like,
That's
give him
fair,
some
that's fair,
time.
that's
He's
fair.
got to figure out how to work the technology.
okay, well, we'll get to the laptop a little bit later on. But for now, though, we actually have Smix, who's over at the stage with everyone's favorite Yanko. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. It's a bit surreal to be interviewing you when we've spent so much time in the green room together. But first and foremost, you're coming into your first match today. How are you feeling?
I think we're feeling good. It was a bit weird for us around iBuyPower because there were no prac rooms. We only played 2 games. So we've been in the US for a week, but we haven't gone to play a lot of CS. So yesterday we were just grinding a little bit for everyone to be comfortable, using a mouse and keyboard again.
And with the moves with Faze, obviously this is your second team that you're coaching, coming from MIBR and then now coming into a superstar lineup like Faze. What has been the biggest differences that you've noticed, whether it's mindset or whatever it may be?
It's still early days with Faze, but I think one of the differences, this team has a bit of a better atmosphere because the 4 players that are the core of the team have been together for a long time. They're used to being an international lineup, speaking in English, so there's not really that many obstacles there, and everyone's been pretty open-minded when it came to introducing some of the new things, when it came to changing some of the things that they're, used to doing, whether it's just tendencies when it comes to practice and so on, when to show up. So it's been so far so good in that department. We'll see how it goes moving forward.
That's really, really great to hear. And for yourself, coming into a lineup like Faze, it's no question that throughout this year, Faze is sort of looking the most vulnerable it's looked in quite a while. So from your perspective, coming in as the coach, what is your emphasis and what are you looking to focus on?
Well, I think it's been 2 things. One of the things has been they also had internal issues within the team, in the second half of the year. I think that's really hindered their performance. But besides that, I think it's obvious that Counter-Strike has evolved in the last year extremely so that you cannot just be dominant anymore sheerly based on individual skill, right? You need to have a high level of team play, and you need to be able to do more than just, okay, we're 5 really good players, everyone's going to do their own thing, and people are just going to come and die, and fall in front of us. So I think it's that the second thing is kind of adding a little bit of structure and, showing them that some things, you need to have a bit of a deeper thought process behind it, and that breeds consistency, which is in the end what, everyone is trying to chase.
And speaking of Counter-Strike evolving a lot in this past year, C9 has evolved a lot too. This roster has gone through so many different changes, and now with the addition of Zelsis, we saw a hint of what that might look like last week at iBuyPower. What do you think? How do you think it's going to go?
Yeah, I think for them also they're trying to figure things out a bit. They've had a lot of changes. They've had the whole Golden situation, right? Like he's on the team, but he cannot travel, he cannot play. He's the in-game leader. You know, for me, that's the most important player on the team. So they have a lot of adjustments to do themselves. On paper, I like the fact that they have, you know, Flusha and Keo, two very experienced players who've won majors, played on the big stage, and I think they can really help, you know, someone like Zelsis kind of get through those initial nerves of playing with such big names or playing against, you know, big name opponents as well.
Well, thank you so much, Yanko, for sharing your thoughts. Good luck on this match. Golden Boy, back to you.
Thank you so much, Smix. I just really want to know if Yanko can phase up. You know what I mean? That's all I want.
He said he was struggling with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he says he just points at the logo now. You know?
Once you get it down the first time, it's easy from there.
Good insight though, obviously, from Yanko. And yes, Counter-Strike has indeed evolved quite a bit over time. And do you think maybe that's why this Adren pickup made a lot of sense, right? Maybe less of the emphasis on the individual player, more emphasis on the team play. Do you think that was one of the reasons?
Maybe. I think they were looking more for skill when they picked up Adren, though. They wanted someone more skilled than Kerrigan. They didn't really want an in-game leader, but they wanted someone experienced, and Adren fits that mold for them.
And also someone who doesn't need to be like the big guy. Doesn't need to be the center point of any kind of thing they want to run. It'll be interesting to see. This feels almost to me like a pickup where it's kind of like we're going to see what happens after the major. This doesn't feel like a long-term pickup quite yet, unless maybe they something clicks and they really like how they played with him. But for the moment, it just seems they wanted to have a free agent who had some skill, who wasn't going to need to have all the attention on him and everything like that, that could kind of slot in and see where things go in these early returns of the first 2-3 months.
Well, we saw Faze in a recent competition at iBuyPower, and now we have some map tactics. That's right, map tactics, presented by Air Force. Sean, what do you got for me, buddy?
Yeah, so this is that first matchup against Ghost, and I think this goes to show what Yanko was referring to, right? This is an excellent fake on the inner bomb site on a pistol round. This is an extremely rare thing to do. So you can see Nico getting ready to launch a smoke. That's going to go all the way to Z right here. And Steel is going to spot Guardian and Rain pushing inner. And I'm going to pause it right here because this is why Faze is so strong. And Yanko knows this, is they have such skilled players. Rain and Guardian solo taking the inner bomb site is a possibility when you're someone like Faze. So you can see together they're going to progress through upper, and they're full sprinting this entire way. Meanwhile, the bomb is all the way by Ivy, just walking, making no noise. So Rain's going to trade that kill on Steel, and everyone is rotating to the inner bomb site because this so much looks like an inner hit from the CT's perspective. And from there, the outer bomb site's completely free. Nico has a quick fight with Kusta, but then Kusta gets pinched from both Rain and Nico. Olaf's already at the bomb train. Adren's going to get the bomb down. And this round at this point is completely unwinnable from Ghost's perspective. Having the bomb down in this time of the round, Olaf sneaking into heaven, Nico playing bomb train, Adren getting Ivy control. They played the 3v3 very well. And even with Freakazoid getting that opening pick, it's too much for them to come back from at that point.
Yeah, too much positioning. Those fakes, those like small man units like the Rain and Guardian inside, those hit like a truck, like you said, just because of the ability of the Faze guys. Those can really, really hurt it. With the rotations the way they are, with that smoke up, it denies a lot of information. So that round was really well played by Faze.
Yeah, absolutely well executed without a doubt. Those are going to be the things that they need to do in this game against Cloud9, and I think a lot of people are going to be looking for that as well. Faze fans who are voting for Faze and hoping that they're going to take this win, those are the kind of plays that you're going to want to see from this team. But now it's time to move into our map picks and bans and see where this all falls. We have a nifty, fun little wheel here, a little scroll wheel. I know all about that as a controller player.
You do.
Oh,
you really took the strength away. That was
said it before you did, bro. Said it before you did. But here we go. So Cloud9, they're gonna go for their first ban. Dust 2's out of here.
I think we're gonna see some pretty standard maps.
Yeah, you're probably gonna see like some Mirage, Inferno, Overpass. Both these teams like those maps. Faze saw them lose twice on train, but obviously they must enjoy it, which is why they kept going to it.
That or was like the massive arrogance of just being like, you won't beat us on it twice. We're going to come right back at you. Overpass going to come in for Cloud9. I would expect to see a Mirage pick at a Faze. That would make the most sense to me, unless they're really feeling that train. But neither of these teams like to play Nuke. That's just being floated out there for some fun.
Yeah, indeed. And going back to the majors, when you really saw Faze's comfortable on Mirage with Nico calling, that was the one map they kept going towards once Kerrigan stepped down.
Oh, all right. There's a little bit of a curveball for that third map. That's Faze saying, we dare you to pick Nuke. You know, actually, oddly enough, this Faze team, while they're not great on Nuke, there have been like periods during their run where they've been pretty solid on it.
Indeed, yeah. There was a point where they were probably a top 3 team in the world on Nuke, but that was
very,
a
very quick point.
long time ago, obviously.
That was when Rain was beasting. He was playing outside with, and they had the they had those little yellow traffic cones or something outside that he could hide behind.
He was just super aggressive, always getting multi-kills. Can't really operate like that in the outside yard anymore.
I really like this. I really actually hope we get to a third map now to see these two teams play on Nuke. That would be a lot of fun, especially considering there's 2 new lineups that don't necessarily love playing Nuke. So you'd see a lot of crazy things going on.
Also, these players are looking to use this as like preparation for
the major
competitions moving forward, right? So that makes a lot of sense too. Kind of play out of your comfort zone here. Okay, well let's move into some predictions, fellas. Let's start. Moses, start with you.
Yeah.
No, start with you.
I'm going with Cloud9. I think this team is I don't know if I want to say underrated, but I think people are sleeping on how good they can be. I think man for man, this is a very talented team individually, and I think they've looked much better. Oddly enough, with Flusha and Keo coming in, you kind of scratch your head at those pickups, but I think they've looked much more cohesive than people would have expected. They've also got Rambo behind him today. It's not Valence. Apparently, he was feeling under the weather when he got here to Atlanta, and Rambo stepped in ready to go.
So I'm going to save everyone the time and because I know everyone wants to know my opinion, and I'm going to say Cloud9. 100% Cloud9.
He's
you
done
know, I've joined the side of Moses here, but Sean.
Well, if I were to say Cloud9, we would all be wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and say Faze because I have faith in Yanko.
All right, let's save that clip, production.
Yep. So I have faith in Yanko. I think what he did for Fallen in MIBR, bringing him back, I think he can do the same thing for the players of Faze individually, as well as on a tactical level.
Yeah, I mean, you know, smartly put, but who knows, right? You're probably going to be wrong. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just leaning into it. We want to hear from the fans, though. We want to know what you guys think in the chat, and you had an opportunity to vote this entire time. You were using Caps Faze, Caps C9, and it is 57% for Faze, 43% for Cloud9. So it seems like the chat agrees with you, Sean.
Indeed, we have a lot of
smart
folks.
How happy does that make you?
Well, I think chat. Face up chat. I think a lot of people, though, kind of look at Faze, and regardless of some of the issues, that they still feel very confident in this team, as they should, because they made some good changes that could really work out for them in the long run, and they have great coaching. They have a lot of great pieces that they can work with here.
The one tough thing about putting against Faze is, like, no matter how bad they look for 14 games, if they come out and they're all on point, like, the game's over. They're just one of those teams who can just steamroll you for no good reason other than they came in and they had like 2 or 3 players who are on fire.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I'm excited for it.
By no means am I confident in this pick, by the way. I just want to go ahead and step back a little bit.
He's hedging already. We've got him.
Cloud9 did beat NIP, Fnatic, Faze, MIBR. They've beaten some good teams in their last 10 or so matchups. So.
See, I appreciate the logic that you bring to the table. But now it's time to send it over to our casters for this game 1. Let's go over to DDK and Bardolph. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you very much. Over here at the Boost mobile casting desk, for me, first I picked Faze for this, but looking at the maps with Nuke as a third map, that's a very giant question mark for both teams. I think Overpass is a 50-50, so for me, I think that Faze take it in 2 maps, or Cloud9 take it in 3, maybe.
Yeah, I think a lot of these matchups we have are 50-50s, which makes them very exciting because it's a journey of discovery for all of us. I think this Cloud9 lineup on Overpass is, I think it's easy to underestimate them. Obviously, Zelsis is a new factor. We won't quite yet know how he'll perform here. Faze, obviously, previously we saw that performance against Ghost at iPod Power Masters. Probably not the most comfortable environment, but here they're super comfortable in the ELEAGUE studio. They've done this many, many times before, so they'll have that advantage most likely. So I mean, it'll be interesting, as Jason said, if we get to see that premium Faze on Overpass. That's pretty damn scary, James. That's like a top 3 Overpass team in the world then.
Indeed it is, and we're going to move into the game now with FaZe Clan starting on the counter-terrorist side. Cloud9 will be the aggressor, so this is going to be such an interesting series. Nuke as the third map is going to be very curious indeed. So we've got 4 players going towards A for FaZe Clan. This is not what you normally see. Often you'll find a CT player just spotting to see what's going on and rotating out of B, but aggression is the course of the day. Nico and Rain with 2 first frags, and Rush will get one back.
Yes, the bomb is dropped towards playground there, so they'll have to try to contest this area. The CTs will be forced back. Rush is going to gain control of party. So things looking a little bit better here now for Cloud9 as they push forwards, but otherwise they could throw a wrench into the works as he starts to poke and prod and find out more information as to what the Cloud9 side is doing. Trying to see if they're actually going to go for this A committed play, but Rush is investigating by himself. Oh, he's got the flank as well. Finds a headshot on a Dread, and that's it. Triggering the push there. Kiyoshima bursts out, finds Olofmeister by the stairs, and now it's Rain in a 1 versus 3. But he has time, James.
He does indeed, but he's not anywhere near the bomb. So if he was to face Kiyoshima, for example, and win that duel, then that would be early information for the remainder of the squad. With Rush towards A, could even rotate the bomb. Flush is in the red, though, so they've got to be careful. Rain starting to move in now. This is still very doable. It's not anymore. Not when you get blasted in the face. A cannon at close range from Kiyoshima gives Cloud9 the pistol round.
I love that round. That was so fun to see. Just the bomb dropped. You can see both teams trying to adapt to that information. Then Cloud9 just holding. Faze holding in a forward position, but not really overstepping. But Cloud9 had that one player Rush, just able to make a play by himself. The communication on Cloud9 to wait for him to get that flank in, and then triggering the push. That was some beautiful CS off the bat. Cloud9 look like they've got some good coordination here.
Rush, 24 years old, pretty much the average age on the Cloud9 side, whereas on Faze it goes from 21 to 28. Nico, of course, just 21 years old. Crazy to think about it when you look at where he places in the top 20 every year. Very nice stuff. Second in 2017, third in 2018. Had some big performances last week, but wasn't enough for FaZe Clan. They've gone for the force buy, as we can see here. Guardian with a tag. He's able to fall back from that as well, taking no damage whatsoever. And that's one of the more difficult things when you're on the anti-force buy round such as this. If you're getting tagged by a scout and you can't pick him off, if you can't take that weapon away, that could really collapse with these pistols to follow up that sniper rifle.
And Automatic, the guy that got tagged, he didn't even buy a weapon. He's saving for that quick AWP. Perhaps they didn't really anticipate that there would be a force buy here from FaZe. And as you mentioned, every scout tag, all of a sudden those pistols on the rest of the FaZe members become very dangerous. So Cloud9, they've got to start being a bit more decisive here. They've been trying to find picks. FaZe have been amazing. They've not given them anything really so far. So now Cloud9 have to rally towards that B-bomb site. They've got to finish the round there with a quick explosion. They do have some utility to do it, but the information's there. FaZe look in advantage here.
Those tags were the same as a scout tag now. 2 players just 1 bullet away from falling. Almost caught with a smoke grenade, one of the FaZe Clan players, but they have position and they have the time on their side as well. But here come the frags for Cloud9, leaving Guardian and Rain out of position. Guardian with 1 more frag, and they've got to go for this post plant.
A lot of pressure on FaZe to make this investment work. And none of these... Well, actually, Kiyoshima would die from a single scout shot, so there's definitely some potential here. These smoke grenades are slowing down the retake possibilities here for FaZe. So you'll see Rain will go to the low ground with Guardian and see what he can find. Oh, Zelsis wasn't quite looking the right way. Maybe there's an opportunity here. Only picking up a MAC-10, though, and the AKs are still there on Rush and Kiyoshima to defend. It looks like it should be pretty good here. Rush is going to be chasing down Rain, the last surviving member, and that will be that. Close call, but Cloud9 do keep themselves composed, and they finish off the round pretty successfully on B.
Yeah, crisis averted there. Very awkward for Automatic. I'm sure he would ideally like to stay alive with his armor to get the AWP, but he's got 59-50, so he's good anyway. And he does manage to get 2 kills out of that with the USP. So nice work for him. FaZe Clan opting for the force buy after losing the pistol. Not every team does this, but I'm a fan because it means that you just have more money to buy more of everything, utility, especially when your buy round comes in. There is a pause. It's a technical pause at present. Hopefully it will resolve soon. Need 1 player to reconnect to the server. And then we should be good to go. Nice to see Yanko again, regardless of where he's standing. Fellow watch aficionado.
I want to see him in the suits, though. That's what I want to see.
It's kind of weird to see him without a pocket square.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got to adjust to the FaZe Clan lifestyle. He needs to get... Where's the iced out bling? Where's the FaZe Clan chains?
Well, they must have some blinged out suits, right? That's got to be a thing. Just custom FaZe.
I think it's hard to pull
blazer.
Off a blinged out suit if you're not Nigerian.
Really?
Absolutely, because they've got all the churches down there. I know a guy whose brother, he used to be called Dollar, and he's in the African church game. Now they call him Billion. I'm not making this up. Real stuff. Cloud9 2-0 up versus FaZe Clan. Got 2 players to connect to the server now. FaZe Clan coming off 2 losses to Ghost, and the matches, weren't able to see them, unfortunately, but again, it's been a rocky road for them of late. But we'll see if they can turn their fortunes around early as they head towards the major.
Yeah, I think we have an incredible start to the year. Usually it's the case, I feel, where you have all these roster changes and you feel like, oh, this team didn't work out so well for them, or this team, okay, I can maybe see some potential there. But I think across the board, it does look pretty positive. I think Jason actually surmised things with Faze fairly well, that Adren is a really good fill. He may not be a guy that you'd want on the roster for a very long time, but I think he's a great guy. Like, he's going to slot in just pretty well, regardless. The only issue is maybe communication.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about the Dren addition for now is that he is stand-in, right? Officially, I think he's a stand-in rather than a trial, which to me says, okay, well, take all these positions that Carrigan had. So if potentially in the long run he could have been like a permanent replacement, I don't know, depending on the positions he's playing versus what he normally does, where he excels, etc. I don't know if he will get a fair chance to really show what he can do or how he can fit. And that's a question. When you have players of the stature of FaZe Clan and the longevity of the team, I think you have to have some ego. Like, you have to have ego. You should have ego if you're going to be a FaZe Clan player, which then makes it hard to adjust and like, can you try playing here so we can try and slot this player in? You know, I think that's less likely to happen in his position. I looked at the scores of Blast for FaZe Clan. They went, I believe they went 2-5 in their matches, and pretty much all their matches went the distance, whether they won or whether they lost, save for a 4-16 score versus Astralis. So I think they've had some difficulty in where they're winning in closing out matches with a reasonable score, like a 16-8, 16-10, which is the kind of dominance that you are used to, or used to be used to, what you expect from FaZe Clan. So they need to find a way to do that. And again, eyes on Nico and Yanko. Nico as the in-game leader and Yanko as the coach, who's only been in here for a few minutes. So we'll have to see if they can turn that around as things continue. Now we've got two Cloud9 players to reconnect to the server, and then we should soon be good to go.
The scary thing in this match right now is that Cloud9 are off to a pretty awesome start. If you consider that the force spike came in from FaZe and they were not successful. It's 2-0 on that T side for Cloud9. I feel like FaZe, they need that strong CT side in general in this series. We're going to need to see those strong CT sides, just because the T sides are harder when you have, at this level, you're playing with a new player. You know, some of the setups might be a bit off. Some of the timings and spacings might be a bit off because, you know, either you've changed some strats or just having that stand-in not be super familiar with how you run things. And the core is going to be pretty familiar with a bunch of stuff. It's going to be bread and butter for them, but you know, Dren might not be in the right places at the right time. So I'm really curious how the T side is going to look. So I guess time will tell, but this is promising for Cloud9 so far.
Looking at the statistics of the maps on HLTV in the last 3 months, on Overpass, 5 maps for Cloud9 and 7 for FaZe. And Cloud9 have had a 60% win rate and FaZe 43, which I think is fairly close considering the number of maps played. I don't think if there were more, then obviously it would be stronger. So I think that if FaZe are going to, for me, if FaZe are going to win, it's a 2-0, and if Cloud9 are going to win, it's going to be a 2-1. But I really don't know what to expect from Nuke because there's no record in the last 3 months for either side. So that's going to be like a mystery box. But if that's something that Cloud9 have been practicing and FaZe Clan they haven't been playing it in the last few months, and they have to try and figure that out with Adren, it could be a master stroke. But it could also end in disaster for Cloud9. So they may be trying to prey on some perceived weakness if it goes that far. But we'll have to see if it gets there.
There's something really funny about when you look at statistics sometimes, and when you're just in our position and you just watch an enormous amount of games and you sort of don't think about the statistics, because you kind of get an overall feeling as to how strong a team is. You just look at that team, you look at the map, and you've built this association between how they play and how their style works against various teams. And I feel like at this point, it really is a new dawn, it's a new year, because looking at FaZe and Cloud9, it's so difficult to predict. I do feel like Cloud9, the statistics that you just rattled off there with them on Overpass, that it has been the map that I have seen the most success from them recently. Even when they had all these stand-ins, they were able to make their game plan work. Even with Steeko, when Steeko was playing and they had Golden and Steeko, and it was like a difficult fit for Steeko, they still had some of their best performances were on Overpass. So it's no surprise to me that we have this as the first map between these two teams, as it is a favorite. And I think the shared map pool effect is there. I think FaZe and Cloud9 are both pretty proficient on Nuke as well. I remember FaZe there was a time when we weren't quite sure about it, and you know, they were running into teams who were picking it, and they were actually very proficient on their new game. So it's weird times, James. It's weird times. It's like someone press that reset button, and we just have to sit here and learn.
Yeah, good time to do it in January. We'll soon have the match medic restored. I think we're just a few seconds away now. Let us know how you are watching the match. Always nice to see. Send a tweet, send a picture to ELEAGUE TV on Twitter. Send me one as well. I like to see how everybody is tuned in.
And me.
And Dan as well. Just send all of us.
Yeah, I want to see those mounted monitors.
Send Jason pictures of eggs.
Any reason in particular, James?
You can't figure it out, Dan. 2-0. Okay, we're good. They have restored the match, and I think we're about to get into it. 17 seconds away from the third round in this best-of-3 series, our first of 2 today. Cloud9 leading 2-0 after winning the pistol round, and a difficult anti-force buy. Faze Clan did go for the force buy in the second round, if you are just joining us, and now we move into the third.
Yes, indeed. Faze just losing their force buy in the second round, which means they are going to be broke. And Cloud9 can stand to make a lot of money here, gain more momentum as they move things forwards on this T side. And things will get kind of difficult for Faze because they won't have... They'll get, you know, one chance, then have to eco off of these buys. So we'll see if they can get some damage in with the pistols here. It's funnily enough, Blush is actually not bought anything. He's going to get absolutely murdered there towards the fountain. Only a Glock for him. Automatic staying on the P250. And it will be cleaned up, though, by Rush, so that's very nice for him. And Automatic as well with that P250. So they've actually saved an enormous amount of cash. They have Cloud9 moving into the following rounds. And we'll see the first... big buy from Faze, bringing out the AWP on Guardian. That's going to be very key. I'm also looking forward to seeing, you know, Rain. You know, he's so, like, we identified the toilets position, the bathrooms, the restrooms, however you want to call it, the labs, the lavatories.
The bogs.
The bogs. That's 5 ways to say toilets, James. That's wonderful. But we associate him with that position on the map, and I want to see...
I love toilet stand. Sanitation is fantastic.
His form is like...
Double sniper rifles for Faze Clan, Olofmeister and Guardian with the scopes. Very... well, the entire team pretty much for Faze Clan. Very good with sniper rifles. The initial map control being taken. 3 players towards B early, which is very curious. Some double nades from Cloud9. You do see these from Faze Clan as well, outside the monster tunnel, but they're a bit more competent than what we just saw from Cloud9. So big presence, and Automatic is creeping in. Got to be careful around the barrels. Doesn't see anybody there just yet. He's got 2 players in tow. Someone can hold that angle. Now, he probably wants to stay to the left-hand side of this pillar to start with, and that's a lovely pick on Adrenaline. Now they can just swarm, and only 1 player is here for Faze Clan.
Yes, they've managed to make their way in. Faze playing that retake game, although Nico is still in position. Perhaps he can do something sneaky, but just wants to hold that water area, stop the T's from pushing that. That does give his teammates a way into the site more easily if he just holds that, and he can coordinate with them as he pushes to smoke, edges his way. No one's watching it. He gets a lot of damage, picks off Rush as well. Another for Nico. Problems here for Cloud9. How will they recover?
Flusher might have to come and help his teammates. He's been holding rotation in connector, but nobody's there. And now we've got Guardian posted up on an angle, but Automatic's got a superior one. And Zelsis is in a pretty good position as well. The both are looking fantastic. Can't get a second kill, though. And Rain now has to fall back and save what he can. Can he pick up a sniper rifle? Something. 4-0 for Cloud9.
What a great hold there from them. Nico's push, I was really worried for Cloud9 at that point because it really felt like there could have been 1 or 2 players covering that position, yet it seemed to go completely unwatched, and thankfully Automatic and Zelsis really held their line here. Beautiful pick off there from Automatic. He's proving himself to be an excellent sniper so far, and not just sort of a guy like Nitro who picks it up because he has to and just plays it defensively. No, Automatic, it feels like he can be the real deal.
Yeah, he has proven himself on an overpass for a while with the AWP, and now on both sides he is shining. Definitely a solid setup there from Cloud9. The post plants were well positioned. Post plant players, and once again they start the same way with 3 players towards the B bomb site. But do they have something else in store for Faze Clan, who will be on eco here? The loss bonus is very high already. Still have a solid buy once again. Now, I do wonder if this will be a general default we see from Cloud9, where they start to show some variation later on. Time will tell. They won't want to show too much in a round such as this, because the threat is considerably lower than normal. But it seems they'll just wait out Faze Clan, who try to make something happen and then get picked off for free.
Yes, this is certainly a more forceful approach from Faze than we saw, from Cloud9 than we saw previously when they played against the Force Bite. And nice frag from Guardian there, though I don't think he'll be able to deny the entry for Cloud9. And indeed, Zellsis will deal with Guardian, and that should be the round now for Cloud9. Just Rain, who's lurking around, he can just go for some damage. Doesn't matter if he loses his gun, and he can't quite get the kill there. Rush, good for it. And Cloud9, 5-0. Faze really not having a good start on the CT side.
Of course, Cloud9 will be building a fair chunk of money. If they don't lose too many players and FaZe Clan win a round, then they will be in a high-risk situation phase of getting reset and losing that money bonus.
Oh my god.
We've got the Orgs coming out now. Adren has picked up a second scoped weapon in this round because Guardian will be the single sniper. And just like the pistol, there are 4 players for FaZe Clan charging towards the A site, and they picked the right time because Cloud9 are heading in that direction with 3 players of their own. Kishima making his way through connector.
Oh, it's going to be brutal. Everyone's going to commit into this. There is the trade coming in from Rush, but on the side of the smoke, it's not all that good. And now it's Kiyoshima trying to work his way from the stairs, but without any teammates in a forward position, he's going to have to just reroute himself towards B. And Zellsis has opened that position up, so this is great from Cloud9. They've diverted quite nicely. Zellsis throwing the Molotov down and pushing in front of it. That is awesome stuff. And now FaZe on a retake, but I don't know if they're going to be able to make this one work.
With heroes like Guardian, it's very, very possible. The bomb hasn't been planted just yet, so Nico will advance the position. He's still got Guardian on the high ground to cover. Will they expect him? Well, the grenade will take him out. He was low, and now he's gone. Guardian 1 versus 2. You've seen him do disgusting things on the overpass B bomb site before. Seek and destroy. There's the first player, down to the 1 versus 1. Very quickly indeed, but jumping on the rail gives Kiyoshima a shot, and that's 6-0 for Cloud9.
That's an angle and a half from Kiyoshima. Wow. What a bloody round, James. That was all over the place there. Really fast push towards the fountain position, towards Party, and then Cloud9 able to quickly get Zellsis in. I wonder if that was by design.
I have to give Zellsis credit because once I think both teams lost around 2 players, he just made moves through Monster on his own. I've got to make something happen here. They've clearly invested a lot of players towards the fountain area, so there's opportunity towards B. He took that opportunity, and it's 6-0 for Cloud9.
And so once again, Cloud9 just continuing that, just running through the paces here. They've got this pistol buy to contend with. They've been up against this numerous times now, and last time they were a bit more forceful towards the sewers, and you obviously don't want to play exactly the same in case FaZe would be trying to stack that position by anticipating what Cloud9 would do based off of how they have played in previous rounds. So instead, Cloud9 just play it passive and see what is FaZe going to go for here. What are their options going to look like? And FaZe is just keeping it passive in this round, waiting for Cloud9 to come to them on the bomb sites. And that means that Cloud9, they're going to have to take initiative.
Not a fantastic start for FaZe. We've got grenades here and there. At this point in the round, they've got just the 1 flashbang. Nico and Olofmeister, though, they've made inroads through Monster, through a smoke grenade, which means that they can put the numbers towards the A bomb site. Nico will be looking for a slow flank, while Olofmeister will just keep an eye on short B. FaZe starting to delay now. A quick look at Kiyoshima we spotted, but the bomb's heading towards long with 3 players. So they've got nice position now, but moving in blind. They are better equipped, however, Cloud9. So this should be a standard cleanup from this point. Only 3 players left for FaZe.
Cloud9 are looking rather good at the moment, and FaZe will be eliminated in this round once again. 7-0, and it doesn't look like this is going to stop anytime soon from Cloud9. FaZe, they've tried a few different approaches so far. Nothing's really worked out for them, and they've gone aggressive. I would anticipate that they would play passively this round, but it really comes down to whether or not Cloud9 goes for a fast play. If they do, I think that FaZe will have some trouble, but we'll have to see how Cloud9 interpret this. They definitely have the edge when it comes to making the calls and sort of being in the heads of the leadership from FaZe.
Right, then let's see what setup Cloud9 have for FaZe Clan. We've seen at least 2 different defaults in these 7 rounds we've seen so far. Mainly focusing on the buys. Olofmeister aggressively looking towards short B, sees nothing there, but flashes around Monster will bring his attention back into the B bomb site. In the meantime, Celsius, who seems to be the lurker towards B, keeping FaZe Clan honest. They won't delve too far towards that monster area. You can't really walk into a peak as a CT after the initial few seconds, because if you've got an AWP posted up on the T side, it is a free kill more often than not.
So you can see Faze they're definitely very suspicious of potential B plays as they've felt some pressure there and not really seen anything towards A. And Cloud9, after playing some very fast rounds, they've slowed the pace down so much that Faze are at this point really unsure as to what's happening. They don't have a huge amount of map control. They are rescinding their players from more forward positions towards A. And all they see right now is that Cloud9, they've got some presence in sewers. It still doesn't really tell them all that much as to the intentions of Cloud9. And at this point, Rush is now clearing the bathroom. So we should expect, with 35 seconds left, for Cloud9 to decide to make the move as they get the bomb.
Yeah, Automatic's going to collect the bomb. Kishima and Connector as well, and Flusher still harassing the B area. And it does seem that they will collapse towards the lower position. 25 seconds remain. A reasonable number of grenades for Cloud9. They've got a Molotov, some flashes. The HE is being deployed as well. So if you're near the barrels, you've got to be in trouble. A lot of fights are holding on one for the time being, but the trade is dead from Zelsis. You've got a player around the pillar, that's Nico, and he's gone as well. 8 seconds, the bomb has to go down. The top is smoked off, so what do FaZe Clan do now? 2 versus 4, they don't really have position. There's not a lot going for them. And it may be another round to Cloud9.
This is really cool to see, actually. I mean, Guardian, he's going to get a beautiful shot onto Automatic. It feels like Guardian is hitting shots, but he's just not really ever in a position to have impact until the round is already out of the hands of FaZe. But I loved the way that this one was played from Cloud9 after having very fast paces. They slowed things down enormously. They suggested that B, and then created a situation where so much time passes that you start to get, if you're on the CT side of overpass, you start to get very paranoid that an A attack is going to come in, because that's way harder to deal with and to take back than a B bomb plant. And when it's very late in the round on overpass, you have to, you end up giving up the forward positions. So it makes you even more fearful that the A play comes. So we saw that FaZe rotated 3 away. Cloud9 hit B the second that there's 2 players there. So that worked out. That strategy worked out perfectly.
Nico's called a tactical timeout, and Yanko has a lot to say at the moment, talking to the team about how they want to approach this. That was a big frag at the end of that round, the AWP taken away from Guardian. It's only been a few rounds where we've seen mass aggression from FaZe Clan at the beginning of a round when they've had a full buy, but that round there was some potential for it with the AWP of Guardian, but it is no more. So they've got the 1 rifle, a bunch of pistols and some Kevlar, I'm sure, in this particular round while they wait to have a full buy at the 0-9 scoreline. So we'll have to wait probably until the next round to see what changes there will be after Yanko's conversation. So they'll buy around the rifle, some bits and bobs, but again, it's all Cloud9 in the driving seat at the moment.
Yeah, I managed to catch. I mean, it's the greatest international team. I can hear what Yanko's shouting. He's got that good projection after being on camera for so many years. But I'll hold that fort for now, as we do have a quick push coming in from FaZe with Kevlar and pistols. Got the 1 rifle, but it's not looking too bad for them so far. The trade is coming from Rush. They'll continue to push forward as the transfer not quite there, but Zelsis in position to continue the trade game, as it will go the way of Cloud9. And I might have a moment to tell you exactly what Yanko said. If this does slow down, which it looks as though it may. And more or less, he said to the team, like, look, that was pretty unlucky. They played a really slow round. One of the issues we're having is that we're playing all these retakes, but we have no information. And so, based off of what he said, I would anticipate that we're going to see FaZe playing harder for information. More pop flash plays, trying to investigate more, especially around the mid rounds. And in that round that they did lose, it was pretty evident that they were just completely starved of info. And that was part of the strategy of Cloud9. That's what they were going for. However, this round's not over quite yet. Olofmeister, obviously, only a CZ, but we've seen 2-3 kills out of these elite players with a CZ many times. Unfortunately, though, he's not quite in the best of positions to make that one happen. The range is a bit too great of a task to overcome.
Olofmeister around the toilets. Well, if Guardian could have stayed alive, maybe one could run distraction for the other to seize the moment, but again, it will be another round for Cloud9. Moving towards those double figures, could not ask for more than they have right now, Cloud9. A solid 9-0 lead versus FaZe Clan in the first map of this best of 3 series. Again, fair chance that nuke is to come if things continue to go this way. And who on earth knows what's going to happen there. But something must change for FaZe Clan in round number 10 here on Overpass. Again, we've had a conversation from Yanko. You heard some talking from Dan as well. And now we'll see what change there will be. One A that, ooh, that's a rough statistic, but it's never too late in Counter-Strike. 1 AWP on Guardian, 1 AWP on Automatic for Cloud9, as we see 3 players towards short B, well, towards B, once again for Cloud9.
Yeah, that default is there. FaZe opened things up as they did in the previous round in which they lost. So we did see that timeout where Yanko was talking about info. And Cloud9 have not quite as passive an approach. That's a great flashbang. That's some of the info, the way that you would play info. You get the flash in there, you make the peak safe, maybe you get a kill, best case. Well, best case scenario played out there for FaZe, and they go 5 against 4. This may speed things up for Cloud9, or Cloud9 may decide, okay, look, let's just hold onto the position we have and see if what Rush can glean from that A side of the map. And it'll be quite risky for Rush. He is alone moving up the A long positions right now, but if he can clear the bathrooms and work out that there is no one there, like, throwing a fake becomes a possibility. And Automatic, meanwhile, is also trying to make a play to see if he can get a pick with that AWP. So Cloud9 do have a lot going on for them right now.
45 seconds, Adren taken out on the B bomb site, but 2 more CTs await Nico and Olofmeister. You can see Flusher carrying the bomb there, so it's very likely that B is the ultimate play. So what is Rush's role now? He's going towards the long position, maybe deploying some grenades. And I think Kishima might be in for a rough time because of Nico's off angle. Could be elevated as well, but there's a big flashbang there. Kishima having a look, and Olofmeister comes to the rescue. Still a smoke down on short B, 20 seconds. They've got to go for this Cloud9.
Yeah, that time is indeed a problem. Automatic has to be the guy to force himself through. Oh, that's not bad at all. And the trade comes in from Flusher. But Guardian finally is in position at the right time. And there, speaking of time, Flusher really doesn't have enough to do this round with, as Guardian comes in from the side and Rain from the other. And that's the bomb down, the round lost, and FaZe finally on the board.
They are indeed, but again, of course, if they lose this round, we may be looking at a 14-1 scoreline because they'll have no money and no loss bonus. They must get a consecutive round here. It is crucial for them if they want to have a fighting chance here on Overpass. The rifles will be out. They've collected 1 AK-47. They've got a good level of grenades now. Do they choose to take the game to Cloud9 in this round, or are they risk-averse? It seems they've got 4 players going towards the B bomb site, maybe reading their own weakness, expecting a shock and awe play from Cloud9 towards B, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They've gone for a strong take of the short B position. Meanwhile, Guardian getting aggressive around A. That's what you want to see. Him in strong positions where he can fall back, take more angles, but there'll be no fatal engagements early.
Yeah, and this is just what FaZe needs, taking some forward position at the beginning of the round. Having sewers over the T side is really, really strong. It allows you to play the A and B bomb sides completely differently. Of course, you have to worry about them just rushing through Monster, but that is not so likely, generally speaking, and you'll often have the information with these 2 players in sewers. And look at how strong this position is. There's nothing really that Zelsus could have done there, and as James said, he tends to be the guy lurking towards the B area, so FaZe, they probably realized that he's been doing that, and they can fall back here, realizing that the rest of the team is likely going to be towards A here, as we see a passive setup on B as they reinforce A with 3 players.
And again, Guardian, he's got rifle support in range just around the corner. He's got the superior angle because Automatic's closer to the corner of engagement. He goes down for free, spots the bomb there as well. 40 seconds remaining. Flusher's finally got a kill, but they're going to need more. Flashbangs trying to charge through. HG's to ward them off. Kishima's been taken out as well. And it looks like there's a fair chance we have that consecutive round for FaZe. 2 more players remain. They need to survive in the numbers phase. There's a lot of damage to be done by Cloud9, and Rush is trying to do it. 23 seconds on the clock. The bomb, I think, is in a smoke. There's still time to do this for Cloud9, so this has to be scary territory for FaZe.
Even just getting huge damage in is very critical here for Cloud9 as Guardian. Oh, he just get caught from the back. That's the AWP gone. Can Flusher save it and steal it away? Looks like he may be able to. There's 1 player left. You could ambush him. Olofmeister up the stairs. And that's the AWP back in the hands of FaZe. That's very important because still, their economy needs to settle and stabilize, but they have avoided the worst case scenarios. James had highlighted they did not lose the round. They managed to pick it up, and they look to be in a position where they can stabilize now. That is a reality that can be at hand.
Sort of gamble through the smoke from Kishima. Made life worse for Cloud9, but again, they've got the cash, they've got a full buy. It was the test for Faze, which they passed, and now there aren't that many rounds left in this half. But they could still get a reasonable score. So let's see how it goes. More aggression from Guardian. Again, he can just about get back to the toilets in time. Chooses to fall back further. Can be compromised from a number of different positions, and he didn't have the rifle support in that position. He showed presence around the toilets, and now he's gone to reset things by taking his AWP towards long. Cloud9 starting slow. Automatic and Zelsis outside the B area. Kishima once again in the connector position. Olofmeister taken out. Again, you can't take that angle for free as a CT. There's an early advantage for Cloud9.
Yeah, you know, you talked about it earlier. It's just this AWP dynamic, having that T-side AWPer is really important because there's just certain positions where you have to risk it as a CT, and if there's an AWP there, you just get screwed. And speaking of which, we have a nice and interesting situation as Flusher picks up the kill against Rain in the bathrooms. That's a big win. Nico goes through the smoke. He knows he's got to make something happen for his team. They're down too many players. Adren, though, finds the bomb on his feet, but he has to defend alone against more players, but the smoke will slow them down. Adren can hold on to this, and Guardian, he might actually get a rotation in. We'll see if he can get there in time. He will have the high ground with that AWP, so he can support Adren very nicely.
He's come down to the low now to flash for his teammate. He is doing battle sniper mode. Adren holding down the short B position in the meantime. Guardian's got tight angles. If he looks to his right, he will hold to his left. He's still got Adren there. Automatic waiting for him to pop up. And he's actually blocked his own vision. Trying to plant the bomb now. Has Adren got the angle? Flusher had the footsteps, and now it's 1 versus 2 for Guardian. Again, we've seen great things from him, but that scope's going to be his enemy as the Cloud9 players move around the smoke. Hasn't been seen just yet, I do not believe, Guardian. Looking towards Monster, looking for a peek. Flusher and Automatic, both in the short B position. If he kills one, he can't expect the second one to be in the same place. There's the first one, looking for the trade fragger. Now we've got the money, but he can't get anything more out of it. 10-2 for Cloud9.
And we start to see some of those rounds which they won previously where they didn't really survive with a lot of players. That's really hurt them. They just don't have another buy here. And Flusher, so fortunate there. Rain did not get the initial or the instant headshot. And key play from Flusher as well. I don't think if Adren had actually made a few steps forwards, I think he actually kills Flusher's teammate there who was planting the bomb. So that round was on a knife's edge, but it does go to Cloud9, and they are in a very strong position. Now they could very well finish this. This is like a 12-3 or something of that nature. Faze are in so much trouble.
I don't know if you guys can hear what we can hear, so I better start chatting. 3 rounds remain. Indeed, Bianco's finished this conversation. Now Guardian is chiming in as well. They're talking about what Cloud9 are doing. Again, we saw a previous conversation about playing passive and information. And I think Olaf may be going for an information play, but you never quite know who is waiting for you to poke your head out. Jack in the box, you got smashed by the mallet.
Hello.
This is kind of weird, man.
I like it. It's very.
Of course, you like it.
Yeah, man.
It just looks odd.
Show me the schema.
The shoulders running like Vince McMahon. Now we've got Zelsis as the solo lurker on this occasion. Automatic will take his AWP to pastures new. Guardian around the smoke, but no AWP for him. It's a pretty bad buy for FaZe Clan here. 3 SMGs and 2 pistols. They've got a lot of flashbangs, so there is potential for some aggressive plays with the right timing, but no one's close to short B at present. Guardian around the bogs on his own. No support, no trade fragger. And UMP, the further away you get, the worse it is, so that may be why he's up here. But on his own, I don't know if he can even get 1 frag versus a rifle if people are looking in the right direction. Reyna's come to join him now, and it seems that it will be a bait setup. Guardian hiding in the corner. Reyna's the initial engager. So now they can trade if Cloud9 walk into their trap.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Cloud9 actually execute on the A bomb side all too much as well, so they may feel like this is a nice, fresh kind of idea for them, but as you say, with FaZe ready to spring the trap, this could be quite interesting. But they could actually wrap around long, and it could actually end up being very positive for Cloud9. We'll have to see how it actually ends up going here. The bomb is on long as well, so that's positive for Cloud9 as they start to edge their way forwards.
I think Olofmeister just spotted a player through the smoke. He immediately got away from the choke point and moved back, and they started to quietly move back from the corner part. And there is a trade flag, and now they start to pop out as FaZe Clan players. And with 12 seconds on the clock, this is a very difficult position for Cloud9. But there's only 2 FaZe Clan players here. Can they stop the plant? Can he stop the plant? He can. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. It's too late now. They've won the round if they don't get eliminated. As long as Nico hides, he does. That's a lovely shot from Automatic, but it is the round for FaZe Clan, and that's what counts so deep into the first half.
Yeah, that was a beautiful setup. It's just, it's just so crazy. You see them trying to, trade out, and there's just players just all over the place. All 5 CTs are there, just around all these corners. Very difficult to deal with. So that was a gamble from FaZe. Absolute gamble. You just stick 5 players towards that A bomb site with MP9s and so on, and it worked out. And that's what they needed to get back into this. They've actually, for the first time in this half, pushed Cloud9 onto some inferior weapons there. CZ, Deagle, UMP, Galil. Automatic still with that AWP though. So we'll see how this goes as Nico, he's boosted up into position. Beautiful, there's the AWP gone. And that's a great start for FaZe.
A mass of humanity around Graffiti. Give FaZe Clan an early advantage, but Zalsis now is trying to pick up what he can. We'll see if FaZe would have scavenged. Maybe the scope is hurt. The flashbang's there, but the flick is here for Zalsis. He is ahead of the flashbang. And now it's 4 versus 4. Plenty of time for Cloud9. Plenty of utility, no. But FaZe Clan don't necessarily know what sacrifices Cloud9. Cloud9, not in German. Zalsis moving back with the bomb. As Kiyoshima has a look around short B.
Yes. The 4v3 for Cloud9, an upgrade for Kiyoshima into a UMP. Not looking too bad there for them. As FaZe rallied around this A bomb site at the moment, they'll be playing a B retake. This makes a lot of sense. They don't really have much in the way of nades. If they were to play 2-1 or 1-2, they would likely lose no matter which way Cloud9 goes. So they push all the chips onto the A bomb site. Although that said, we will have Rain rotating just to get some info towards B. And Flush has got onto the A bomb site. This is pretty much the worst thing, or it could actually be a blessing, because if Flush had caused them to rotate into A, they're going to rotate into 2 players, which could be quite genius. But here goes Nico. They'll figure it out. And this is problematic for Cloud9. Nico gets 2.
Look at Zaltis' position. He has no time to rotate towards this A site. He has to go towards B. Flusher has to collapse on the site from up above. Zaltis with the CZ. Such an important frag. AWP now waiting for a pick. Nothing doing just yet. He's got a pillar for help. And Nico, 1 versus 2. He needs to find an ace to win this round for his team. No grenades versus an AWP and a UMP. He's got to get his jiggle peaks on. He's got to bait the shot from Zelsis. He's got to get past AWP. What a shot from him. 1 more frag now for Nico. He's got no kit. He's got to find it fast. He's got to bait Flusher deep enough to get a headshot. Sees him top with the UMP from miles away. Flusher stops the ace. Round number 11 for Cloud9.
Oh, that was a close one. Nico almost made it happen. Unfortunately, though, FaZe stuck on 3 rounds, and Cloud9 are having a crazy strong half here. Great spray. Oh my god, last bullet through the woods. This is a very impressive stuff from Nico. Just, if only he had a kit or just an extra grenade, just makes all the difference, that extra $600. Either way, it's pistols again for FaZe. And we'll see the classic Molotov there to deny a quick push towards sewers. Vizalsis, who's playing alone towards this B-bomb site again. And look how passive Cloud9 are. They don't want to get caught by like any aggressive plays that FaZe may be throwing their way at the beginning of the rounds.
Automatic 18 for 8 so far in this first half. He has been integral, as he was in the major winning team in Boston. Been very important for his team. Rotating the angles he's been holding, taking FaZe Clan by surprise. They can make no assumptions as to where he might be posted up. Guardian taken down and connected by Kiyoshima. Always making sure to keep the CTs honest if they're in there. We reached a sub 1 minute mark now for Cloud9. Bomb may be collected soon. Zelsis has been passive towards B, and Olofmeister starts to creep into the short B position, looking for that info, as they will have to collapse their players to concentrate on one area if they can, since they're all on pistols.
Olofmeister taking some pokes and prods, who get discovered, doesn't get that initial kill, and the sandwich comes into effect. And Cloud9 are just one step closer to taking the B bomb side at this point. There is Nika very close. He'll get one frag with the Deagle, but he's quite low now, and there it is. The flank has also been silenced. So player by player, it looks like Cloud9 are just picking everyone off for Faze. So Nika needs to get something marvelous, but he is unable to do so. And there's the trade. Automatic, as you mentioned, James, having a great half. That's a 12-3 scoreline there for Cloud9. And I really did enjoy Automatic and how he was able to use the AWP to pick specific positions across the first half to give that edge to Cloud9's T side.
He's a gator in a swamp, basically. Just creeping, waiting for a deer to take a sip and then just snapping necks for fun. Death rolls for that entire half. 12-3 for Cloud9 as they move into the counter-terrorist side. Players are readying up. Some quick words from Yanko, the man who's closest to us. We haven't mentioned that Rambo is over on the Cloud9 side as well, behind the players. Again, Valence, I believe, is taking more of a data science role.
Data science.
For Cloud9.
Nice.
And Rambo will be the man who can behind the 5 players, so we'll see how that develops. It'll be interesting to hear some words from him, well, now and some months into the future. See how things are shaping up, how the team gels together. Right then, the second half is about to start. What do you think, Dan? 3 rounds, is it enough for FaZe Clan?
I personally don't think it is. I think in a Faze they're going to have a pretty... I mean, the CT side is where I would expect them to shine, and they could never get going. I think the force buy for me was something that I wasn't really sure about. I wasn't convinced by it, but hey, that's just what you go for sometimes. It didn't work out for them. Now they have to make it work on the T side. They'll have to start things off well on the pistol as we're now into it. Molotov and a smoke for Adren. Guardian with a smoke and a flashbang as well. I'm very curious to see how this will play out.
Kushima looking for the one-shots. Now, he's the only person facing, which may make FaZe Clan think they've stacked the B-bomb site, but he actually has. He's baiting. There are 3 players behind him. So he's suggesting, oh, I'm just seeing what's going on. Come and charge me. Setting a bear trap. Will they get snatched by the claws? A jumping shot. Not much doing. And again, I believe they've only seen 1 player. And it does indeed seem to be spurring them on. Rush is at the back of the B-bomb site, just spotting for a potential retake. In the meantime, again, they just see 1 player.
So seeing 2 there will surely force some players of Cloud9 back, because they've got to worry about long, which is the intended. That's what the CT side want. The FaZe Clan wants. But that's not actually happened. They're just going to keep everyone around the bathrooms, and this is actually going to work out very well for Cloud9, as now the smoke comes in even there from Automatic, and Cloud9 have discovered the bomb, and in comes Adren to flank the flank, and that's pretty critical. A 2 versus 3 now, but they have to get the bomb back. Adren, he can't do it though. Now Olofmeister with a very hard task on his hands.
With a Glock, no less. He does not have the range. Even if he headshots Zelsis, he might not kill him. Or that 10 HP might help, and he'll take one in the face himself. Just good for the 1 frag, and it will be the pistol round for Cloud9. The worst has happened. Cloud9, one of the more interesting teams when it comes to pistol rounds. Of course, FaZe Clan as well, as Sean noted on the desk. But that was quite an interesting one. The bait set up, just 1 person showing towards Fountain, almost inviting a rush. Didn't need it anyway. It was a slower approach from FaZe Clan, but still ultimately C9 come out on top.
What I thought was really impressive is how FaZe showed 2 players running long, and Cloud9 didn't pull anyone back to the site, because that's kind of the point of it. It's just to pull the rotation back so that they can actually move towards B or A more safely, but Cloud9 didn't buy it. So they're on another level, James, and all they have to do here is just wipe out these pistols. It's a full save for FaZe, and the grenades do the initial job to take down Guardian. And there it is, UMP finds the bomb.
Essentially, we are looking at a 3 for 14 scoreline scenario for FaZe Clan, for them to pull out the AKs and then do what they can do. 2 players remain. No frags for FaZe, which only makes their life harder. Nico trying to squeeze everything he can out of this round.
It's like Dirty Harry. Over here with that Deagle. You seen that film, James?
I don't know any Harrys, sorry. Or Harolds, just to be clear.
Have you not had the line, you feeling lucky punk? All that? No?
I don't know any Harrys.
All right. Not even, okay, never mind. We'll move on from this. I know movie references are not the strongest. You did the movie references
If
that you
your name
do
is
know.
Harry, send me a tweet.
You're very strong with the movies that you do know. But
I know what you're talking about there.
Okay. But it's very hard to tell. You know, you think Lord of the Rings is anime, so. You know,
I don't watch anime. I don't do anime. I'm sorry. That quickly gets me into trouble on the internet, man. I can't do anime. 14-3 for Cloud9. We've got the AKs out for FaZe Clan. They've got a bunch of grenades as well. Smokes, flashes, molotovs. They have enough for some kind of execute of some description. That is a problem smoke grenade from Cloud9. Look at the containment. Now they have no idea. There could be lots of players around here. There could be no one. There could be one person. So you don't really know if you can charge towards B, but they may take the gamble phase as they have little choice anyway. They've been smoked off there as well, but Nico, how's he got here? Has he even been spotted by this point? The trades are all over the place. 3 versus 3, trying to force their way through the smoke, and somehow FaZe Clan are on the sites.
Rush almost with the third one there. That was pretty damn close, and FaZe are in a weird position now because they have loads of time, and this is just so smart from Rain. He's ready and waiting for the flank. Now down to automatic with the scout. FaZe have 2 players left. Rain will die from 1 scout shot. So this is actually doable here for automatic, but he has to figure out whether or not he needs to drop. And you can see that FaZe are really taking their time to make things a bit more confusing. But automatic, he's got the deagle out. He knows he can do this one. Just has to find the perfect moment. Use the element of surprise, and that's the deagle doing the job. The bomb down. 1 more shot. Oh, and he can't find the head. It's a Dren with the headshot from the AK, and FaZe will clinch it. But my, that was close.
That was a difficult spot for automatic as well. On the balcony, he couldn't scope in because he didn't know where the second player was, didn't want to concede his position. And great effort from Rain as well. Got 3 kills, very important kills, the trades as well around the B bomb site, and there is a desperate 4th round for FaZe Clan.
Ooh, he's a 10.
He is quite pacey, isn't he? He should be in a bakery shop. So we've got 3 AKs, a Galil and a UMP for FaZe Clan in this round. Cloud9 have continued to buy. They've got a 2 AUGs and a 3rd scope in the AWP. And again, if automatic can continue to be as nasty on the CT side as he was on the T, this may be a quick second half indeed.
FaZe creeping up connector towards bathrooms. Cloud9 with 3 players towards A, 2 towards that long position, that long setup. Overpass is a pretty complicated map because of all the various CT setups that can be waiting for you. We'll see how much ground FaZe can gain. Here's a quick boost over the smoke. Oh, whoops, love to see this. Can't quite see anything though for Nico. Looking into the site, but there's nothing to be found. Was there a pixel there for Flusher? There may have been. It seems as though Nico spotted something. Flusher and Nico just... It seems very close for them to spot each other, but it seems that neither will be able to get any shots off. But Nico finds Flusher in the end, as they say that, and now they're going to just start charging towards that A site.
40 seconds remaining. Olofmeister is on a long rotation, and maybe... Oh no, Guardian's going backwards, but Kiyashima is lurking. Now Guardian's going forwards. But with 2 players on the site, if he tries to plant for connector, he could be in trouble. And there's the look from Kiyashima to 5-7 as well. Very damaging weapon, but he can't take out Olofmeister. 25 seconds remain now. Rush and Zelsis trying to stop the plant maybe. Or are they going for post? Waiting for the smokes to go. Big flag from Zelsis. 2 versus 3. They don't have any kits, the Cloud9 players, not the ones who are alive at the moment. And now it is just Rush as Zelsis has been exploded. Trade fact situation if they can get around the corner long enough. But Rain will be enough himself. 5 rounds for FaZe Clan now. 3 surviving. No upgrade though for Olofmeister. Seems miles away from a weapon. Continues with the UMP.
What's quite exciting for this half is all the tasks and things that must be overcome for FaZe to win it. And Cloud9, we haven't really seen a full buy setup from them yet. We're going to see triple HE in this round, but obviously otherwise it's just a save. When we see the AWP come out on automatic, then that's when things are going to be really interesting for Cloud9, when we start seeing those proper setups. So that's what FaZe are going to have to really be beating. But they are generating momentum here. There's triple nades. Nico almost goes down. That's nade in exchange, and they're just pushing forwards here. And they are finding some frags. Bombs down. Doing quite some damage here. It's not bad.
Yeah, the meat and the potatoes, but not quite the gravy. And FaZe will continue. 6 rounds on the board now. That is 3 in a row for Faze Clan after losing the pistol. They have lost both pistols, it is worth noting. Solid stuff from Cloud9, and their loss bonus continues to rise. Won't be buying just yet, but it will be a second air raid. This time it will be, no, it will be once again 3 HE grenades. And off they go towards A. Now, I don't know if they're going to throw a containment smoke like they did last time. But they're beyond the angle phase. But will the HEs go towards the playground instead? Adren is in at this position. No, it will be as before, but delayed. Guardian down to the pistol. That's a big frag. And that is a crossfire for the T side, so they can clean this up and make sure the AWP doesn't get picked up. That would be disastrous.
Yeah, I love how Cloud9 are actually really being so annoying, just causing all kinds of problems. Here's a distraction for Zelsis to get into the back. Oh, but it didn't last long enough, and now Zelsis doesn't quite have that opportunity as he previously did. Rain is waiting for it, and he's going to pick up that kill. So, looks like the catastrophe, the potential catastrophe, has been averted for the time being, as Rush and Automatic are still searching for ways to do some damage, but not really looking like there's too many opportunities. Faze are sticking to a tight setup, protecting each other, which you like to see. And you can see also at the same time Nico's getting the B-bomb side, so they'll be able to take that bomb as 3. Rush trying to get up safely. Oh, hello, and that might be a gun to be picked up. Indeed, he's going to pick up an AK. Now, does he save this, or does he try to do more damage? They're buying next round regardless.
Nico has made his way through the B-bomb site, and he is going to the higher position. So it's good cover. One player can hold down the short B area while the bomb gets planted. You can use a pillar for cover if you want to, but it'll be planted deep on the site with 22 seconds on the clock. Automatic slowly rotating around. If he can find something, then maybe they go for it. I mean, even just taking weapons away from Faze Clan may prove fruitful in the rounds to come. Rush has made his way into short B, which has just been smoked. So let's see what they will choose to do. Seems that Rush is looking to back off now and hold on to his AK-47. And on the CT side, that can make the difference as well when it comes down to the headshots. So it's an important weapon to save, and Automatic will look for an exit, but it seems Faze will go towards CT spawn.
Okay, this is it. This is going to be the first of many true tests for Faze's T side. AWP is going to come out. Automatic actually just found a UMP right at the end of that round, so that's not bad. I mean, you don't really want to use it in a round like this, but the
I guess it is bad then.
Yeah, I guess it is. I guess it doesn't really matter at all, does it? But we'll see the 4-4 buy coming in from Cloud9, the AWP collected Automatic. So there's so much we could see from this. You know, he could just go immediately for like something like weird, like a monster push, a sewers push, connector push, fountain push. Like there's all kinds of ways to play it, or you could just go passive after one of those pushes. That there's just so many different opportunities to be had. And look at this, Faze looking to perhaps go with a fast pace, with an explosive approach.
I would say that Cloud9 showed themselves to be the more prepared team on Overpass so far. And with double the score of their opponent, that of course does not bode well for Faze Clan, who have a lot of people towards this B-bomb site. Will there be a jump peak though in the right position to see all these players? It would be a very costly jump peak. You can see players looking for that headshot. Oh no! How much does one grenade cost? Most of your health for Rain. Now the numbers start to come in. Adren taken down immediately. Taking them down immediately, sorry. 3 versus 3 now as they swarm onto the bomb site. Faze Clan. Rush can't get his gun out in time after throwing the smoke grenade, and now there's cover to plant the bomb.
But in comes the orb, it creeps very close in from a short. You got Flusher there as well, waiting to get his look in. It seems like Automatic will open things up from the high ground there. Switching down to the low ground, Flusher and Flusher and Automatic in that 2 versus 2. But that position in the water is very problematic. Olofmeister waiting for the perfect moment. It's such a strong position. It's very difficult to adjust. And he'll have those headshot angles. There it is. One found. Now Automatic with the AWP. This gets so awkward for him. And there's the flashbang. Easy follow-up for Olofmeister. Great team play coming in from Faze. And they'll pick up the first round against Cloud9's big buy with a very nice B attack.
Huge entries into the B bomb site from Adren, picking up 2. Olofmeister, I think he saw Flusher's shadow as he was peeking around the corner of the smoke, and you can see that on Nico's face, this game is not over yet. Another round in the bag for FaZe. So far to come back, but that is 5 rounds in a row for them. No pause, no timeouts just yet from Cloud9. They will continue, and they've got money to spend now because the loss bonus is rising. We see Rush with a mag 7. The rest of the team on pistols. Some grenades here and there. You may see more air raids in a different position. Rush moves into the short B area with the mag 7. Very powerful spot if you can avoid some flashbangs. But for now, Olofmeister's working towards B, and FaZe Clan are looking to clear out towards toilets.
Looking to be methodical here again. I want to respect Cloud9. A run boost there coming in from Nico. And he'll be charging his way forward, so stepping will be heard by Automatic with that 5-7. This is very dangerous. If Automatic can get one, that might be really annoying, but the crouch peek is good. And you can see the spacing there from Nico's teammate as well, so that it would be a guaranteed trade, and they could pretty much face the pistol with 2 players almost at once also. So very nice movement there from FaZe to get the first pick.
FaZe know that Cloud9 had spotted 2 players in that position on the def cam. So they may read a rotation from Cloud9, which I think they had intentions of doing. Zelsis and Flusher are very close to the A site where Kyoshima is. But both teams will know what they would do in the same position, which makes things very interesting. Olofmeister again, he's been looking towards B, and the bomb is headed in that direction. Rush is in connector. Now, where does he choose to go? It seems he's looking to flank towards the A site where there are sounds from grenades. Nico looking to his right, getting tagged from his left, and here comes a pop out from Zelsis. Can they rotate in time though, because the B bomb site is being taken?
Yeah, they're so out of position here. This is quite awkward. They have Kevlar as well and some weapons, so there is a world where they could consider trying to save some weapons, try to maybe just catch some exit kills, steal some guns away into the next round, do some economic damage, but every single attempt, it seems, is faulted as Zelsis has collected an AK from one of the fallen FaZe members, and he's going to now just try to tuck away into a safe position to hold on to this one. So FaZe, 9 rounds very shortly, and a mere 5 away from Cloud9 now. It's starting to creep closer and closer.
Yeah, let us not forget, this half started 12-3. Cloud9, if you ignore the pistol, they've had no success basically. It's been all FaZe Clan. And only 5 rounds away. At what point do we get a timeout? Do we get some discussion from the Cloud9 side?
Yeah, Cloud9 winning both pistols as well, you know, it's nicely done from Rain. Yeah, it must feel pretty hard for FaZe, but also for Cloud9 at this point, it's going to be feeling a little bit like things are drying up. But their playbook certainly won't be drying up. They've got lots of plays to work with still. We haven't seen some of those aggressions I'd mentioned previously. They've been taking things
so
pretty... Those piercing blue eyes.
Zelsis and Kyoshima making aggressive plays towards that long position, while FaZe Clan are held in position because of the smoke. Look at Zelsis creep, he's in the playground.
I love this.
And he's not there for the swings. Olofmeister lurking outside B. Lots of FaZe Clan players around connector, but with no map control around playground fountain, it's not ideal for them. There are flashbangs you can bounce off the wall to the right of where Rain is looking, so if anybody's around that divider position, you can force them off their angle, but still, it's quite rough. Out they come, but Flusher avoids the flashbang. There are trades there, which will benefit Cloud9, 4 versus 3 now, and still Zelsis is in playground, and things look difficult for FaZe Clan.
Very nice. Nico does catch a push from Kyoshima. And there are lurkers all over the place. Looks like Zelsis will get taken down trying to lurk against Guardian. Guardian seemingly read that play from miles away. And now, big advantage for FaZe moving into the A bomb site. Nico does need his teammates with him. They're fairly spread out at this point, which does buy some time for Cloud9 as they rotate towards A. But do they try to get into the site? FaZe have 30 seconds, could run back to B, and you'll see that Olofmeister will do so to clear it, not only clear it and get information, but also to offer up a flank if necessary. And looks like it may be, because this defense is going to start off pretty well. They got to get the bomb. They got to go and plot that right now. And it's Guardian with that AWP. What does he do? He needs to try to get the kills or plant the bomb. He has to make a decision, but he's running backwards and forwards. There's not going to be time here. He's going to pick up the rifle and go for it. But how does he do this? In comes Automatic to finish him off, and he's done it.
Absolutely brutal for Faze Clan. Olofmeister made the plays. He saw the B bomb site was empty. You can see the frustration there. They gambled that they didn't have time to rotate. I think it would have been tight. I have no idea if they would have made it or not because it was so close to the A site. And then disaster strikes. And finally, Cloud9 win another round and make it to game point in this first map of this best of 3 series. Overpass, Mirage, Nuke, the 3 maps that have been chosen. But Faze Clan, with their success, they have a buy. They've got the AWP, the 4 AKs, and they're good to go.
Still doable for Faze, but it was certainly, as you say, like a demoralizing way to lose a round there. And Cloud9 after, in the previous round, going very aggressive, you know, digging in Zellsis very, very deep into T territory. They're playing it really far back at this point. 3 players on B, making sure that if there's a fast B timing that they can shut that down, giving up a lot of space towards A automatic. We're seeing him on A long right now. We haven't really seen much of that. And it looks like Cloud9 may get quite fortunate as automatic moves around with that AWP. He's going to get some action.
He should hear that scope. He should know someone is to his right-hand side. He's got a flasher inside the toilet. It's not in a position to really flash for him, and there he goes. Kind of awkward once he knows someone's close because he's so close to the wall. He will be seen first if people are looking. 4 versus 5 now in favor of Faze Clan. Flusher was kind of rifle support for automatic in an ideal world, but this world is not ideal. Zellsis on the way to help, it seems. Flusher can't really leave this position because he doesn't know if angles are being held. Flashes on the inside, scopes on the outside. 33 seconds for Faze Clan, though. They've got to do more. They've got to get more advantage away into one of these 2 sites.
You can see Flusher not peeking with that pop flash. He's just trying to buy time at this point. And Faze have decided to just reroute their attack in towards the B-bomb site now, leaving a lurker and a Dren towards that A site. And it's got to be very quick. They have to make this work. Oh, they're going to line up the AUG! Oh, it only gets 1. Rush had a big chance there. Unfortunately for him, doesn't work out. Smoke down, bomb planted. And Guardian will take down the flank. So it looks like this round should go the way of Faze. That Shadow will give away Nico's position, and an AK will be stolen. But this round will go to Faze, and this resets Cloud9 very, very heavily. This will extend this map pretty far because Cloud9 won't be able to have a proper buy for quite some time now. And it's got to feel bad for automatic, James, because as you said, like, he heard the scope, he knew someone was very close, yet he pressed QQ. So he's going to have to scope before he peeks again. And so he's just at risk of giving his position away no matter what happens. So it's a weird time to QQ, isn't it?
It's kind of rough. Because Flusher was inside the toilets, he's not really in position to throw a flashbang for him to try and peek, but I think it just happened to be a very awkward situation for him. And here we are, only 5 rounds away, and it's an honest round from Cloud9, a bunch of pistols, only 2 HEs and 1 flashbang, so this should be a good round for Faze, but we can assume nothing. We've seen plenty of matches won in such a fashion. There's a focus towards the B bomb site for Cloud9. They won't go too deep towards A, which they don't really have the utility, the weaponry to go for fights across Fountain, so they want to play those close quarters. I remember when Overpass first came out, you'd often find a CT ecoing team just camping on the A bomb site, playing as close as possible. Don't really see that anymore. Kiyashima having a look. Of course, gambles have to be taken to try and stack what little you have to your site. Here's the reload and punishes. Nice play from Zellsis. Rotate that weapon as soon as you can.
The reload just jumps on him, just mugs him. He got mugged. Although I don't know how much is going to help here for Cloud9. Ooh, okay, 3 versus 3 after the Flusher lands a very precise grenade, and a flank is coming in as well from automatic. He has the CZ, he's going to time it perfectly, has to close the distance, and his teammates are creating distraction. He may not have much opportunity if his teammates get locked out. Now they start to look towards the flank, and automatic doesn't have a timing anymore. So it's down to Zellsis in the 1 versus 3 with the AK-47, but their money is such that he likely wants to try to hold on to this AK, but Dren will reclaim the property which was previously stolen.
He had a lot less money than his teammates as well. He had $700, where the rest of his team, well, they had a lot more than that. So that was an awkward spot. But again, as you saw, that was a very dangerous round for Faze Clan. A tactical timeout is finally being taken by Cloud9. Some time for discussion. How do we turn things around, gents? We've got Yanko saying expect an AWP after this eco, just keeping him focused, building expectation, looking at Nico. He's nodding, he agrees that. These two players, I remember you used to commentate them playing on iNation together.
It's just interesting, Yanko doing some calls with different team names. Throwing out Optic's name and Astralis' name.
Oh yeah, some strats are just labeled after teams.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very interesting. And that means like I can't decipher it, James. I don't know. I can't tell you. Although he was talking about the economy as well and what to expect. So just setting up Faze to understand exactly what they need to do, so they don't have to do as much thinking on the fly. And we'll see the anti-eco now coming in here. A few grenades have been favored by Cloud9. We've seen them do fairly well with them actually, though. They've had some good airstrikes, playing worms.
They keep changing the position of these cluster bombs. Always good. Keep your opponents on the back foot. And FaZe Clan will start slow. Arguably a weaker eco than the previous one. This is just a solid stack of the B-bomb site as well. Previously you saw some peeking, the punish of a reload, a rotation of a weapon, then a late HE kill towards A. But this time it's just a stack. A minute 10 as FaZe creep towards the box.
I think the setup here with the nades for Cloud9 is based off of Zelsis on barrels, and what if like as soon as he sees someone, they'll toss some of these nades in towards a short position because he automatically throw it from where he is, and Flush and Kyoshima the other two with the nades, so they can throw it deep into the short area if there's someone who's trying to pick that position, which can be fairly common that a team might go for that. So pretty cool that you can see the way that if you look at the setup and who has the grenades, you can kind of anticipate what they're going to do. But looks like they won't find any contact towards B, so we may not see these nades really going to the intended effect, which is sad, but very good news for FaZe. They're going to move on to 12 rounds, should they win this one.
Rush is leading the charge with 27 kills at the moment. 24-year-old Rush. Putting in the big frags, taken over from Automatic. See if he can do anything in the round to come. He's picked up an AK-47 now. Nico looking to take out some players, but they are feeding strong weapons to Cloud9. You don't want to be dropping AKs to a CT team. 2 taken away now. Flusher hunting for something. No kits, no ninja, but just in case, there'll be a Molotov on the bomb. Taking no chances is Guardian. And he'll move away with his AWP. 3 rounds between these two sides. How far can FaZe Clan go? No more margin to error.
I really like the move from Kyoshima there. He gets the first dink and then sort of jiggles in a way where Nico wastes his first couple bullets. And then the peek comes in again, and because of the dink, Nico's already weak. So he doesn't really necessarily need another headshot, and Nico's like, he's inaccurate because of the only bullets he's already shot. Really good movement there, and we'll see that the couple AKs will continue into this round that Cloud9 have saved, and we'll see if that really helps them out. As now the AWP is in the hands of Automatic once again. And FaZe, they really need to win this one. If they can, they've almost done it. They've almost got to that overtime.
This could be a faster round. Those are the FaZe Clan HE grenades. But maybe it was supposed to be shorter for short B. Normally it goes towards the jump peak position. In the face, baby! Down goes Zelsis. 5 versus 4 now. How many players has he seen? Maybe just the one, but the entire team is here for FaZe Clan. And Cloud9 don't have too much information towards A. Flush is holding behind the divider. They do not know what lurks, and now there could be a lot of trouble for Cloud9.
Only 2 players here. Good nade damage coming in, though, from the CT defense. Kyoshima with 2. Rush now charging through the smoke, seeing what he can find. It's very confusing. Kyoshima now faced off by Adren in the water position as it goes down to a 2 versus 2. The bomb not yet to be planted. And you can see that FaZe actually have the ability to back out through Monster, and they're going to take that chance and reset the situation in the 2v2. And this is very important. By cutting noise here in this 2v2 with a minute left, they have the advantage.
Solid chance for a 1v1 here for Olaf Meister. He's got full health. Rain is half health. Got to be careful on the timing if he starts to look away. Flusher just creeping into the angle. Now we've got a 2v1. Where could the last player be? Automatic with the AWP. 30 seconds on the clock. There are no smokes to obscure this position. He's going to throw one of his own on the short B position, but where will he go? Rain is at A long. An Automatic, he's going to stay. Olaf Meister, it seems, is baiting him. as Rain makes his way towards the A site.
Wow. He's been played so hard, hasn't he?
Single digit, down goes the bomb. Olofmeister already towards a toilet position. He spots somebody going towards a long automatic. No kit. He has to eliminate both these players if he is to win this round.
There he goes. Can't find anyone. They know exactly what they're doing to Faze. Not giving him a single peek. Just right now, he has 0% chance to win. They're just not peeking. Here he goes, and Olofmeister hits him straight in the face. And you have to really respect how well Olofmeister played the bait there, as James highlighted, forcing Automatic to just, like, it was such a convincing argument that they would go towards that B-bomb site. And speaking of good shots, Guardian nailing Zelsis, looking for info there, and that's pretty tough. I mean, at this level of play, you do see players hit that shot, but it's hard to count on it like that, with an AWP as well, no less.
It's a more difficult eco round to deal with, the FaZe clan now. Cloud9 have got the big buy in next round, but they could entirely win in this one. So we'll have to wait and see what can happen. Automatic with the scout. Some dangerous 5-7s, a Deagle. The HEs once again. Guardian having a look around the upper area. With the AWP. Got to try and avoid a trade frag situation. And he's moving back, and here comes the charge into the B bomb site. Zelsis trying to flash these plays off. There's a HE grenade, but the numbers are here for FaZe Clan. So far, so good as Zelsis gets taken out. We've got players in the CT water, though, in Rush with the Desert Eagle. He can do a lot of damage here. So far, so good for him. Smokes down on the site, and Rush Flusher gets taken out, but they still need to deal with Rush. Ooh, the reload, is he trying to bait Olofmeister? I think he was. Kiyashima doesn't take it. There's Kiyashima now. He's fishing. Rush has been taken out in the meantime. Automatic with the scout in the face. 3 versus 2 for the reload. Oh my god, what's going on? Automatic now, 1 versus 2.
Well, what can he do? He's the scout in hand, and the scope will obscure his vision. Olofmeister swings in for the quad kill. And that was pretty chaotic. Almost went a bit sideways there for FaZe, but they do make it work in the end. And finally, after they've recovered, it's just so many rounds in a row here to make this overtime a possibility. And it's so sad if you think of the way that they gave up that game point to Cloud9, but still 1 round to go. And double up comes in. We haven't seen this just yet from Cloud9, so this will be very interesting as to how they decide to play this. Zelsis, I haven't already seen him off very much, James.
Rush has made it to 30 frags, and indeed, I haven't seen much of Zelsis. He's only got 3 maps on record for Cloud9 so far. Guardian knows that AWP. I wouldn't want to go against him, that's for sure. 1 more round for FaZe Clan. They start off well. What will the response be for Cloud9? Will they gamble on some aggression to try and even the score, try and look for some information? 3 versus 5 now. Oh dear, oh dear. 12-3 at the half, and it looks like we may be going to overtime. Don't count them out just yet. We've got Rush creeping, prodding, asking questions towards short B. Someone's got to make something happen, but only Rush is close to any of these players.
Yeah, it's a great position for FaZe to burst into B with superior numbers. Rush, though, looking to find a good timing, and he can't quite make it work against Rain. And surely that will seal the fate here at Cloud9. A 2 versus 5 retake on the B-bomb side. There are 3 smokes, 2 Molotovs, most of which have just been thrown here for FaZe to completely shut out Cloud9. Automatic can't get anything done here, and it does look impossible. Quick kill from Kiyashima, but he takes some damage. 1 versus 4. Good nade, though, coming in from Kiyo. Let's get another headshot with 2 very weak players. Surely Kiyashima can't do this, but there might be a chance.
Molly onto the side, I presume. Nobody there. Guardian with a superior angle, and indeed it is overtime again. It is almost their catchphrase. Just never count them out, FaZe Clan. That is a FaZe Clan you want to see. Coming back from 3 to 12, and now it's overtime. What the hell is that? What is the science behind that, Dan?
Well, I guess these 2 teams stylistically, it doesn't even matter if they have the same core players. It just seems like Cloud9 and FaZe are delivering always when they play each other. And Cloud9, I mean, it's pretty rough. FaZe, they've got to feel so much confidence after just having so much trouble getting into that overtime. As you said, like fighting back from such a horrible deficit. they got to feel really good right now. Cloud9, it's pretty hard sometimes. You know, you've been on the you've given up the comeback, and you've played the CT side. Nothing's clicked. FaZe have a lot of momentum here.
A lot of momentum. That is absolutely crazy. Yanko with more words at the beginning of this overtime. 15-15, 3 rounds a half. All the players starting with a clean $10,000, a briefcase full of money. Well then, can they continue their success? Now the pressure is off. I mean, there's still pressure in a 3-round half, but for FaZe Clan, I don't know if they come off the gas pedal a little bit, or if they just continue as what has become normal in this game, at least in this vacuum of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see Guardian on short that AWP. I think Yanko was talking about that, or at least trying to get there. Or there's something about short B and AWPs. I'm not sure. They have quite a big aggression again from Cloud9, pushing Celsius deep. See him in the playgrounds, as we have in the past. Guardian last time bested him. The Guardian's not there this time, so we'll have to see if Celsius can create any new opportunities as the rest of his team now falls back to just cheat those players towards B. You've got that deep control towards the A side of the map. You can see there's just no one there apart from Celsius at this point in time. Of course, connectors open. Of course, they FaZe. There is a timing in the round where Cloud9 starts to say, okay, we have to pull one player back onto the A side. But for the time being, they can pretty much have 4 players here, and you can see Celsius will start to hear information as automatic defense against Guardian, and now Celsius. Was he spotted? He may be spotted. Oh, it's happened again, James.
Ooh, turned his brain into goo, into mash. Past its sell-by date. Very inedible. Wouldn't recommend it. 45 seconds remain. 3 players on the B bomb site. It's a hard read from Cloud9. Saw a vintage automatic position. But again, where has he gone now? He's towards the A side, the only person there. Adren lurking towards long, so I think he may try to sell something. He's got a full set of grenades. But when does he start to pull the triggers? Pull the pins even. 25 seconds on the clock and nothing doing just yet. A smoke grenade on short B. That's quite brutal. That's a long time to wait. Do they gamble, rotate? I mean, the bomb is outside Monster. And that's where they're headed. Olofmeister taking one in the face. Has the bomb been spotted now? Automatic down on A. Maybe there's a flank, but with 10 seconds, there's no time for that. Oh, he's coming from the back. 7 seconds to plant this bomb. And there's no cover at all. Surely this can't work. Flusher, does he come out? No, he doesn't believe it. And the first round will go by timeout. 16-15 for Cloud9.
Oh, wow. It's always the way, isn't it? You know, you can't win that last CT round, and then as soon as overtime hits, oh, there it is. There's that CT round that you've been looking for, and yeah, that was...
I wonder why they didn't pull the grenades of Adren towards A sooner.
Yeah.
25 seconds, and they were still waiting, but what are they waiting for?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Flusher, what a clutch there, just knowing just not to face. That's some experience there for you. So, right, let's see what Cloud9 have to mix things up here. Again, I'm quite sad that Celsius' pushes just never seem to quite work out. It always has so much potential when you get a player that deep. And one thing that Astralis would often do is get someone onto the bench, and they would rarely go for the full playground push, as we saw from Celsius, but you can see that right here. FaZe are very wary of these aggressions, because Cloud9 have shown repeatedly that they are willing to push very deep there, and so that's wasting time for FaZe now. As Guardian's deep on Monster, my goodness.
Got to be careful, because someone is hiding behind the barrels. And almost making a play a la Cloud9 in the first half of normal time. There's a big flashbang. Rush still not thinking just yet. Here he is, only good for the one frag there. Kishimi's got a second one. Nico can't do anything about that. Adren and Rain remain 2 versus 4. 1 minute on the clock. Of course, there's a big rotation coming in. Lots of grenades being deployed, compounding the problem. Smoked off, leaving Adren without a team, a trainer for him. Looking for some taps, but still nothing. Yet 45 seconds, and now it's 1 versus 3. Adren versus the world. Clutch King of 100 ping. This might be too much for him. Sees us in the smoke, still finds the frag. 6 HP, 2 more to go. They're very close to each other. They need to stay in straight flank positions. Spotted now, but not quite spotted. Swatted even. Going for the bomb plant, doesn't happen. 2 rounds in a row for Cloud9.
Somehow all the CT rounds going to Cloud9 now as they look to get the third. As FaZe have enough money to get the full buy-in, which is always good. Sometimes if you lose 2 rounds in a row, it's kind of scary, but they did get the bomb plant, so...
There we go.
Yeah, can't leave him hanging. So FaZe need to mix things up a bit, perhaps. And we haven't seen too much play in early rounds towards A, and I think partially it's just because Cloud9 have been so active there at the beginning of the rounds that that's something that has. Ooh, that Molotov misses, and this might actually mean that Cloud9 may not suspect Faze to be so far forwards. They're going to use that timing to their advantage and dive straight through, and this is exactly what I wanted to see, that burst towards A.
Yeah, I think this is smart reaction. Lovely bait there. See Crosshair away and find the frag. Automatic still alive for now. Still dangerous, still lethal. Now he's dead. 4 versus 3 for FaZe Clan. They've got to get a round out of this half. Otherwise, we're talking 3 game points for Cloud9. Finally finding success in their CT half in overtime. How on earth is Zelsis in this position? He's had a lot of reactionary plays. They served Cloud9 well on their T side in normal time. Now can he make it a clean sweep in the CT half in overtime for Cloud9?
His timing's really good. His timing is so good. He has so much time to continue to creep. He's now tells his team that he's seen 3 going along. As long as Zelsis doesn't die, they're golden right now. He's going to be able to put that pressure on FaZe. Now FaZe are trapped. They have to go forwards. They have to just burst forwards. They know that Cloud9 know they're coming. They just have to hit the shots and use their nades well. This is horrible for FaZe.
Zelsis rotating towards B, which is curious. Maybe because he thinks it's a safer route, because he's seen 2 people towards long. So there's only 1 question mark in Olofmeister. Where is Olofmeister? But that's really weird.
Yeah.
Again, they're expectant. They've got the HEs. And now he sits on the B bomb site, but of course, FaZe Clan are committed towards A. They pretty much noticed Cloud9. Anyway, they've got players to defend with 15 seconds on the clock. Blind Cloud9 players, but they're still alive. Rush wins his duel. Stereo finds for Cloud9, and that will be that. 3 game points for Cloud9 as they move into the T side.
And that was perfect from Zelsis. As you said, how did he get into this position? And a lot of it was just that the information from Cloud9 came that there's so much presence early rounds. They were so fast towards bathrooms that he's just like, all right, I'm going to take the risk that there's no one lurking out Monster. Because if there was, that's what kills him. But for some reason, he goes for it. There isn't. And that is, at that point, you're golden. Just you push forwards, you get into that flank. He played it perfectly. His timing was great. Again, like the rotation to B was a strange one, but he got the last kill, so it ended up working out fantastically well. So 3 rounds on that CT side. They struggled so much in regular time, and now FaZe, speaking of momentum, it's been completely drained from them.
Back to a familiar story. Choose your own adventure. Cloud9 took the book away from FaZe Clan, and now they're up against it once more. 3 game points to survive, to take it to a second overtime. 2 AWPs again for FaZe Clan, Guardian and Olofmeister once more. Can they find more success this time? That is the question. Cloud9 on the T side, leading the charge, being the aggressors, setting the pace. So much to their advantage. And again, this is the pick of Cloud9, so you have to heavily favor them at this point. Automatic lining up a grenade. That might be for the balcony. I'm not quite sure, but we'll see if they choose to execute. I think it was the first buy round where Cloud9 just walked through Monster with the AWP leading, and things went great from there. But again, it's another hard execute into B from Cloud9.
There you go, straight forwards through Monster. Zelsis will lead the charge, but he's by himself. So this is a fake right now. Let's see what Zelsis can get out of it. He's going to get 1 kill. Nico going through the smoke, caught by Zelsis. Olofmeister turning his head away from short. There's so many T's running up connector at this point. This is crazy. They've completely misread this phase, and I don't blame them. This is a very strange push from Cloud9.
Not committing the bomb just yet, despite Zelsis' position. Rush and Kishima towards the A side, trying to find out what's going on. And that is arguably the weaker position. Guardians there with an AWP, though. That's weak. Misses his flick, and that's going to be a rotation for the bomb. Off it goes. Zelsis still clearing up things. And he may win the game, the map on the B bomb side for his team. Still alive, but there he goes, Adren. 1 versus 3. Looking at Zelsis' POV was beautiful. All the flashes avoided. A great execute from Cloud9. It showed how solid they were with that. And they will finally take Overpass, the first map of this series.
Yeah, that was really impressive stuff. They really came into their own at the end there, and it's kind of funny that they were dropping smokes, kind of helping Zelsis just stay in that position on that B-bomb site. And I really like how Zelsis has been implemented into this lineup. He has a lot of responsibility, but hey, it's time for us to go to a quick break, and we'll get the thoughts of the desk very shortly.
Yeah, let's go, boys.
Rain starting to move in now. This is still very doable. It's not anymore. Not when you get blasted in the face.
Oh!
Automatic with the AWP. This gets so awkward for him. And there's the flashbang. Easy follow-up for Olofmeister. Great team play coming in from Faze.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice, guys.
In comes Automatic to finish him off, and he's done it.
Absolutely brutal for Faze Clan.
Good job, guys. Good round.
Somebody get us off this wild ride, because that was a great way to start off the day here at the ELEAGUE studio. Welcome back, everyone, to the desk. And yeah, I mean, you know, just that was like a tale of two halves, honestly. Cloud9 playing exceptionally well in their first half, and then Faze just bouncing back the way that they did, Moses, was incredible.
I'm actually still kind of astounded that FaZe made that comeback happen.
Yeah.
I was back in the green room like thinking I'm going to have to go hard on these guys. We're going to have to, you know, get a little bit of a clap back in there, you know, tell them they're doing poor now, all that kind of stuff, and really get into it. That comeback, I mean, you saw a little bit of all of it. You saw some of the skill. You saw some smart decision-making out of FaZe. Yanko, we heard him during the timeout exactly describing the perfect economy that Cloud9 had at the time. So, I mean, they were really into it on that T side, which bodes well for map 2.
Yeah, I mean, they went down 0-9, and then the half ended 12-3.
Yep.
And then they lost the next pistol, so they were down 14-3. They gave up the 15th round, do that blunder in the 2-on-1.
Yep.
And they somehow still got it to overtime. You thought all the momentum was in FaZe side at that point.
Yeah.
But somehow Cloud9 just 4-0s them in OT.
And they win the CT size that they need in OT. But let's take a look at the highlights here real fast. Lots of great moments in that game. And a player that you got to talk about in the beginning, Automatic, he was crushing FaZe. It was nothing that they could do. Even Flusha had moments of greatness as well. And also, Zelsis, I think it was mentioned at the end there by James and DDK, like just, you know, fits pretty well into this team. It's quite impressive.
He had some really good reads on flanks. On the CT side, he was pushing up towards the playground, which actually didn't have too much impact. It wasn't super successful, but that flank he had wrapping around from the B bomb site through T spawn was beautiful. So, I mean, he was getting into it, and then, like Dan said, there were some rounds, especially that last round that won on the map, where he had a lot of responsibility. Go into the B bomb site alone with all the utility, find us a pick, and he does just that. So really beautiful work from Cloud9. Automatic and Rush had great games, I thought.
And I know this is going to be difficult for me to ask here, Sean, but what happened? What did Cloud9 change in OT that gave them those CT wins that they so desperately needed in regulation play?
It really just seemed like they shored up their B defense a little bit, right? And that's where FaZe was causing a lot of havoc. They actually got a pick in one of the opening rounds on the B site, and I thought it was going to be more of the same. But they kind of bunkered down in that B bomb site and didn't allow FaZe to really progress into the pit area. And they used their utility really well at that point.
I think as well, I don't think you can underestimate the value of like that pause, that breather you get when you go into overtime, right? Because they were getting just absolutely battered, and that's something you figured when they had that much of a lead that they would have been able to figure it out on the fly because they had so many chances. So that pause, catch your breath right before OT starts, I think that calmed a lot of people down. We saw a little bit better play in overtime from C9 to get these.
Wow. Just very, overall, like a great way to start the day for us viewers, right? But I think that for the players on the stage, I don't think that is like, whether you're Cloud9, you have this incredible start, you're just tearing through them and you're like, oh, great. I mean, there were conversations we were having that, oh man, this FaZe seems really, really rough. And then out of nowhere, FaZe is just like, all right, we're going to become the best again.
We were honestly burying FaZe. In all of 2019, we were burying them for the entire year.
And they were written off.
Yeah. We put them out of the top 20.
Yeah, I mean, the conversations that we were having in the back definitely would have raised some eyebrows as far as what was going on with FaZe. But they managed to regroup, and they, despite losing, still end this game, I think, very respectable. And I'm sure they would have wanted the victory here, but instead they'll have to take the L for round 1. But I think considering that is Cloud9's pick, Overpass, they were feeling pretty confident in it. You know, hey, right, you bounce back the best you could in that situation, right?
Yeah.
I have a really hard time judging that bounce back. Like, I don't know if that carries over to map 2, great, but I don't know if I look at that and I say, good, FaZe finally got switched on, or if it's like a more of a knock on Cloud9 for not closing that out, because they looked like the way better team.
Well, let's dive deeper, if you don't mind, here, Sean. I kind of want to get in your perspective as well as like what you've noticed in that game as well.
Okay, sure. So this round that I want to talk about here, this is the 22nd round. This is the middle of FaZe's comeback. And I chose this because this isn't a style we've seen out of FaZe in the past, this execute-based style. And so this is clearly something that Yanko wanted to bring into the team. You can see Zelsis getting aggressive on short B. And here we're going to have FaZe actually aggress towards short B with quite a few people. They're going to do a Molotov execute on this B site. So from here, I'm just going to speed up a little bit until we kind of get into this first frag. So they're lining up in short B, and Kiyoshima's harassing them a little bit, and here comes the Molotovs over the wall. So double Molotov towards this backside, which makes Kiyoshima come forward into the flash. Adren gets a double entry frag, and at this point, Rush is just on an island. He's on a 1-on-5 in the B bomb site, and obviously he's going to get traded out really quickly. And at this point, the bomb site is totally lost. Faze is in aggressive positions. Olaf pushing up into the pit. I believe he's actually going to be the one that finds Flusha and seals the round. He's going to find him from like that corner of the pit.
Yeah, and that also, I mean, that hit is pretty brutal with those Molotovs to force Q into the open, but I have to imagine that Faze hears him spamming the boards and is like, all right, let's go. He's got to reload. Like, this is our timing right now. Might have sped it up a little bit, but they made it work so well. There was nothing he could do.
Yeah, and something that we talked about in the green room before the second half started was I said there's no way Faze brings this half back because there's such a pick dominant team on their T side, and you just don't put up 12-3 halves when you're just constantly looking for picks. This is a style that I haven't seen them, you know, bust out in quite a long time. On Mirage, there's just like standard A execs, B execs. Everything's super basic. This was a little bit flashy.
Yeah, and you kind of highlight bringing it back. I mean, at that point in the game, they were 12-7. They were able to get 10 out of 11 rounds when we went into round 29 there. That is crazy to just bounce back like that.
I mean, we talk about pistol rounds often, and kind of with the new economy, they've lessened their impact for sure. But the fact that Cloud9 wins, I mean, those first 2 rounds of the second half were the only rounds they had in that half for quite some time. Like, if they didn't win that second half pistol round, that could have been a Faze coming back and winning the whole map.
Yeah, or Olaf being at the A bomb site in that weird 3-on-2
Yeah, he got
scenario.
lost, didn't he?
That was very weird.
Especially when you see him later on. He had that 2v2, the great play to keep them stalled out of the B bomb site. Like, the decision making there, like getting lost in one round, but then just being a god in terms of what you decide to do is incredible.
Odd moments, without a doubt, but that is going to be Cloud9 taking the win in Overpass. Speaking of odd, we're going to have some fun because, ladies and gentlemen, it is your first ever CSGO Trivia Challenge. Yes, that's right.
They told us they had the music. It sounds
I hear
great.
the music. The music sounds amazing. That's right. This is your first ever CSGO Trivia Challenge, and here is how it works. We pick these topics. We're going to have some fun here, people. Okay, and the topic is...
that picture, Jesus.
Stewie is a world-class trash talker. True or false? Look at that. Look at that baby face there from Stewie. So... now what a change from breaking down the game.
Yes.
All right, so now this is a time where we go to our panel here and ask, do you guys think Stewie is a world-class trash talker? Sean, start with you.
So I think Stewie has the ego to be a trash talker. He's capable of it. And I think they're throwing us off with this baby face picture. This isn't what he looks like anymore. So I think they're throwing us off. He is a great trash talker.
We need like a 10-year challenge for Stewie.
I'm going to go true.
He's going true.
He's going true. Sean's going true.
All right, I'm going false. I think he's got some decent smack talk. Problem is, to be one of the all-time greats of smack talk, you got to do it publicly. You have to be up there in an interview with Sue. You got to do it on stage and say we're going to batter these guys off the tournament. And he doesn't do that anymore.
Okay. So you're saying
he's
false?
calmed it down. Yeah, I'm saying false. He's dropped off in my book.
Okay, he's not a world. Do we have anyone else? Here we have Sue. I think Sue has an opinion here. Sue, what do you got?
So I'm going to agree with Moses here. I feel like, as Sean said, he does have the ego, but you know what? Everyone that is playing at this level has that ego. You just have to show it. And I think JW does a very, very good job on showing it publicly over and over. So for now, I'm just going to say false.
False.
JW's Twitter is awesome.
Okay.
His Twitter game is so strong.
I like how I'm still holding this microphone the entire time. Do we have the casters? Can we get the casters' opinion?
No.
On this?
No.
Oh, man. Okay. Never mind. So I really wanted to hear what they had to say, but it's okay. We'll get them later, I'm sure. All right. Well, let's find out what the answer is for the CSGO Trivia Challenge.
I try not to step over the boundary too much when I trash talk.
Christian, close our week out there, bro!
Too easy, too easy, too easy.
We have a really low bar for smack talk, apparently.
That's a win.
That's
a
win. a weak victory.
I'm gonna take that win after the L I received in that first match. So.
Yeah, well, you and what was it 53% of the Twitch chat? You know,
we take the wins we can get.
All right, well,
that was the weakest smack I've ever
that
heard.
really was. I was expecting a little bit more, but we'll have plenty more of the CSGO Trivia Challenge. You guys are gonna want to stick around for that one. But for now, we're gonna go to a break. When we come back, we're gonna have map number 2. We're going to Mirage. Let's see if FaZe Clan can bounce back after their first map loss.
Get ready for battle with pre-game prep, brought to you by Domino's.
Night before I come to a big tournament, try to do something to make me calm and not focus too much on the game.
Like try to work out in the night, get some proper food, so I wake up like not like too heavy.
Try to see it as another day and be relaxed and calm.
Yeah, when I sit at the desk, I just make sure that all my settings are there, that I just feel like I'm playing from home.
I like to put my keyboard in an angle, then I just do my own settings.
I don't have any like crazy habits to do like before the game or something, so I just a normal day for me.
That was Domino's pre-game prep there. It's how the pros get ready for the game. Welcome back to the desk, everybody. You have Golden Boy Moses and Sean Gaze here as we get ready for map number 2. Now, Faze, if you're just joining us, fell in map 1, but it was a thrilling matchup. 19-15 went to Cloud9 on Overpass, but now this is going to be an interesting matchup because we're going to Mirage. And, you know, I guess this is to kind of touch on this real fast because C9 is a good team on Mirage, right? They're not a bad team on this map at all. So if you are a Cloud9 fan, you have to be feeling pretty confident here, no?
That's the thing, that drop off in the second half shook me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, Sean.
Oh,
shook me a little bit.
You're wavering. See, I'm confident still. I'm confident.
I don't know why you're confident.
Because I'm pretty sure you said like Faze in 2, C9 in 3, or was that James? I don't know, but someone said that.
I will say Cloud9, when I saw them just last week at iBuyPower on Mirage, they looked good on the CT side. They played against Astralis on it at one point. And they had a really good comeback on the CT side against a very tough team. But the T side was really rough. It was rough against Astralis. They played Mirage later on in the event, and their T side looked much better against a weaker opponent. So, you kind of take, I don't know, I guess you kind of flip a coin in that sense, but I don't think FaZe is going to have the same kind of strength that Astralis had to shut him down so badly.
Indeed, yeah. I do think Mirage favors FaZe on the CT side much more than a map like Overpass where they get spread thin. They don't play the rotations that well on Overpass. They're excellent at playing rotations on Mirage. It's one of their best maps. What we saw out of Olaf in that 2-on-2 where he was floating around at B and then I think Rain came through long A, you'll see a lot of that on Mirage, a lot of mid-gaming and moving around the maps, and that's why I think FaZe has a massive strength and edge here.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Moses, predictions though. Right? What are you saying? Predictions as well. I'm curious.
I'm gonna still go with Cloud9 on this map. I don't think FaZe's defense is gonna be up for stopping the T side, which can get stalled out for C9, but I don't think we're gonna see it happen here today.
Okay, what about for you, Sean?
I think I have to go FaZe, but I think something to look out for is both the new players, I'm pretty sure, are going to be playing that B side.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
A lot of teams last week tried to attack Zelsis at B as well.
Yeah, and I think Adren, I'm not 100%, but I think Adren will probably be B.
All right, well, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Let's get ready to send it over to your casters. You have DDK and also James Bardoff, who's sporting,
Chippy
new
B.
look. Cheeky look, too.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, this is going to be very interesting. James, what is this?
I don't know. I mean, is there a day that goes by without me being photoshopped into something or other?
It's
a standard affair. This is a normal day, essentially.
I feel like there should be, if there is not, is there like a James Bardoff subreddit where there's just this kind of stuff all over the place?
There's definitely a Twitter account called Things Bardoff Says.
Oh, that's
I don't know
going a while,
Reddit,
yeah.
but feel free to create.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. I think like both teams have strength on each other's maps, and Mirage, as Jason mentioned, I felt like Cloud9 actually played really well against the likes of Fnatic as well. They had some really good showings there. So, the thing that I am worried about are the standings. I do agree with the points that they made there. I don't know how you're feeling about this, James, but I feel like this is pretty up in the air.
Very quickly, I need to note the oppression and exclusion from the trivia contest. Thank you, Jason O'Toole. Hopefully we can get involved in that later on. But indeed, I think this is going to be, well, I think the whole series is just it's very interesting to see. I think Cloud9 are more prepared, but again, it's more favourable.
That's a handlebar and a half.
Yeah, it is indeed. It looks very uncomfortable. Well, let's just see what happens, shall we? FaZe will be the aggressors to start with on the T side. I think Overpass is a map that Cloud9 have clearly spent some time on with the executes and so on. Maybe FaZe can show us the same on Mirage, where some may say they are favoured.
Yeah, I do definitely need to see, for me to see Cloud9 taking this one, they do need that strong CT side. I also noted that they struggled a bit on that T side, as a bit one-dimensional. So we'll see how things go with the pistol. You can see that FaZe are looking to likely just burst on TA site. They can take both Rain and Olaf Meister through underpass, in through connector, but there is risks here because there's a 3-man setup around this position. If the timing's off on this coordination, on this push, these mid players from FaZe will die.
1 minute is what all that's left now. Grenades are being deployed. Where will they land? Well, they've isolated the players around connector, so only Rush can really face on the A bomb sites at the moment, and now they start to boost into the window. They're creeping. All range check for this position. No, he's just given it up for free. And that's cost him. In the meantime, we've got a frag. So now we've got a 5 versus 3 as both kills have come in for Cloud9 so far. And it's a 5 versus 1. No kills. 2 players will get a helmet for cheap because they've had no damage to their Kevlar for Cloud9, which is even more bonus money for them. So an intricate setup from Faze. They had position, but they didn't have any frags at all.
You kind of feel bad for, I think it's Rain going for connector, because it can be a 50-50, but it did feel like, as you say...
It cost nothing to check.
Yeah, I did feel like he had time to check it, but I love the boost. I think the boost is so cool. So I'm quite surprised that FaZe didn't get more out of that. Cloud9 looking pretty good. That's 3 of 3 pistol rounds, let's not forget. They won all the pistol rounds in the series so far, and we'll get a quick burst on TA. So this balcony burst is very common, and it's just to get the bomb down. You get onto the site super quickly, you can plant default, hit this guy on CT, try to overwhelm him, and the bomb goes down. So the mission accomplished. This is what they wanted.
That was a really nice HE from Rush, but it was a little early. But as you can see, they are really on point with those high explosive grenades. Flusher flying in with the knife. Not quite hitting the mark, though. 2-0 for Cloud9, only losing Rush, who got 2 kills in that round. And there we go. On to the next one. What will FaZe Clan have in store? They've got $5,000 to $6,000 on the team. A wry smile from Flu as the AKs come out for FaZe Clan. Olofmeister with 5850. Does he drop an AWP? No, they'll start with 5 AK-47s. Not every team feels compelled to have an AWP on the T side of Mirage. Same can be said for Inferno. Can mean faster plays from FaZe Clan, and indeed 4 players are going towards the A side immediately with Olofmeister top mid.
And the burst up the T ramp is coming, playing it contact style with his AKs, and there it goes. Rain will be charging first, checking Shadow, clears it, rushes down. There's no anchor left on the bomb site now to really secure anything, so this is retake city for Cloud9. They'll have to use the grenades, but the luck in mid could shut down everything. It's all about the timing for Olofmeister, and he won't get it. He loses against the MP9. There is a chance now for Cloud9.
Automatic holding the far angle while Zelsis continues to approach. I think there's a flashbang for his teammate. There it is. Rain completely blind. The trades are there, but the numbers will still favor FaZe. Flush and automatic left. Do they want to risk everything at this point? FaZe Clan look likely to take their first round, so I think it's time to hold on to this for Cloud9. Carrying a lot of equipment. So we saw the same thing from FaZe, the same idea that we saw in the pistol. They put smokers down towards the jungle connector area and just use the numbers to overwhelm what's likely to be 1 player on the A bomb site very fast indeed. And it gives them solid post-plant positions as well, and had Cloud9 on the back foot on this occasion.
So, very early on, getting that first round on the board. Mac 10 comes out for Olofmeister. Can only imagine the shenanigans there. Of course, he could have afforded a better weapon, but we see him just rushing through the B apartments. You know, what is the plan with this Mac 10? It does look like it's going to be a B apartments play. And this is a pretty critical round for Cloud9 to win, and this is perhaps one of the reasons why we'll see a rush, because if you get onto that B site fast, it's very, very difficult to retake it, and there's no one here.
Smokes down around the pillars in a short position, and again, look at the position. They are so solid now. Do you even go for this at this point, Cloud9? Do you invest in this war of attrition when you don't have position in any direction? They have Flusher and Market around 2 smokes. Olofmeister creeping through a smoke as well. And he'll get taken out. So now things start to look interesting as Cloud9 have short B. Starting to move forward, automatic on the scope. You can hear the org of Rush as well going in and out. Guardian has got the high ground in apartments, but he needs to move forward as his teammates are being lost on the site. Adrent will trade. Rain trying to deal with the market position, but he's got one on short as well. Sitting faster and faster, and now it's Flusher versus 2. And again, it seems it's time to back up. Maybe tries to take one more with it. There we go. And there he goes as FaZe Clan quickly tie the score.
It's very difficult, isn't it? Flusher, I think he got that first kill through the smoke, and it really started to make an argument to go for it. And that's always very difficult because, of course, you know, you do end up getting 4 kills despite losing the round, which does allow you to get, you know, harm your opponent's economy and keep their money honest for future rounds. But it's also the sacrifice is you not having a proper buy round now, and they serve to be basically make all the money back that they just lost. So it's a weird one. Flusher does have the AWP, so it's likely just because he has the armor.
Well, he has to go battle sniper mode now, but he may not get the opportunity. One of the things you ideally want to do if you're Flusher, especially on like an Inferno, for example, is get an aggressive kill, then rotate to the other side of the map as you anticipate your opponent of trying to avoid the AWP by doing the very same, but it seems it's going to be a straight charge into the A bomb site from Faze. They know that the damage is very limited in what Cloud9 should be able to do, but these close quarters positions from Rush and Automatic could be a problem, jiggling, but doing nothing at all. It's the one fake through the smoke, there he goes as well, and that has been a Cloud9 neutralized on the A bomb sites.
Yeah, very nicely done from Faze. I like the utility usage, and it's not really all that much more that they need to do. The AWP for Kiyoshima will be taken to the B apartments. He'll try to keep that alive, and you can see the hunt begins. They're already looking to try to figure out exactly where the AWP is, and it is the 3rd round lost in a row for Cloud9, so they'll get $2,400 in addition to what you see here. So it'd be pretty nice if Kiyoshima could hold on to this. They will get to him before that bomb explodes, I think. So this is going to be very difficult. Well, they'll get to him if they keep going forwards, but it looks like they're backing away now.
Oh, he has no idea where to go. So he'll just hide in this corner, hope for the best. Maybe Guardian or Nico catch him as Nico is charging in that direction. Now they've cleared the B bomb site. It's going to be a tight one. They might see each other, not fire a bullet. Oh my God!
He hit it as well. He hit the shot on Nico. My God.
Robbery.
Oh, you hate to see that. That's got to feel pretty bad. Ouch.
Well, they've got money for another one. Automatic has an AWP, but of course, it will come at a cost of less utility.
Ooh, down
to say.
3 HP.
Got to do 100. Faze now in the lead. 3 rounds in a row from them. And they start their initial execute. Smoke's being thrown. Automatic going through the window. Rain won't expect that. He continues to charge Automatic. He misses a shot, though. A rare miss from him. Maybe would have been traded. We'll never know. Flusher trying to do what he can, spotting ahead, but this could be a very costly early round from Cloud9. He's got to fall back. He can't. Olofmeister takes him out.
Oh, it's a complete disaster. This is looking very bad for Cloud9. Oh, and the push comes in from Zelsis in the B apartments. Someone has to make a play, and at this point, maybe it's too little too late. Indeed, we'll get the kill, but both bomb sites are very easily pried open here now by the remainder of Faze. And they'll take A. Bomb can be planted. Zelsis has 19 HP. Doesn't have any nades, doesn't have the kits. The best he could really hope to do is maybe recover the AWP, but it's so far away, it's not going to happen. Taken down by Rain. And that's another round coming for Faze. So 4-2. What is scary to me, James, is that last round, it's kind of the fashion in which Cloud9 lost it. We saw Flusher was trying to help out Automatic, but Automatic was a bit, like his timing was a bit too quick for Flusher to be able to assist, and they both go down in unfavorable engagements. And that's always a bad look.
Zelsis has a Zeus in this round. I know I always buy all my, either I have a key bind or I buy with my buttons, the numbers. I never use the menu, the GUI, if you will. And with the numbers, I don't even know how you buy a Zeus. But I tend to get thrown one sometimes. Anyway, we'll see if you can get something out of it. Little reward, but if you do get if you get a kill full stop, if it gets you a kill, it's so costly to your opponent that on certain maps with certain angles, it is worth trying. I think that is a smoke for the top of connector. Some people at home would just throw a normal one to the bottom of connector, but that favors the CTs, they can look over it. So if you want to take position like this, you need to throw it over the top, pop flash your teammates in. Then you've got map control. You you've got more information than your opponent as far as mid is concerned. You can choose to split B, choose to make a play towards A, boosting window, so on and so forth. Moving in towards short now, 3 FaZe Clan players. The pistols are close. The charge being thrown. Olaf Meister will survive 1 frag, but what the hell has happened now? It's all blue in the kill feed in favor of Cloud9, and that Zeus is still on the prowl.
Running into the stack. Oh my god, the nades are doing some damage here. Zelsis pulls out the P250. Adren is so weak that P250 is all that's needed, like one good connection. And there it is. And can he find an AWP, an AK, anything? Yes, there we go. AK collected. And, well, that's unlucky for FaZe. You know, Cloud9, they just stacked the B-bomb site. They stacked the B-bomb site. There was no information play from FaZe. They relied on just trying to get in with nades, and it did not work.
One, and then the grenade from Flusher, Kirishima with the Deagle. 3 kills in a matter of 1 second. Absolutely bananas. And just like that, everything turns around. But now both teams have a good buy. Full grenades for everybody, AWP for Guardian and for Automatic. Automatic starting in the window. Not the most ideal place, ironically, for a sniper, because you'll often be smoked off the position. That's one thing to look out for, what the sniper does on the CT side once they get smoked off mid. Lots of rotation to be done. Speaking of rotation, Zelsis has gone very deep into the apartment. So, again, Cloud9 with his executes. Now, he can back off, and he does. However, FaZe Clan have no idea if anybody's in the kitchen area or on the opposite side. So that's got a very difficult situation to deal with for them.
Just holding that default at the moment, FaZe fairly passively. 3 players on A for Cloud9. 2 at ticket and 1 at default. That's pretty interesting. Maybe anticipating Cloud9 to go, or rather FaZe to go for that play straight onto the A bomb site, as they've done a few times now already in this half.
I think there was a fake suggested by FaZe. They had the connector and the stairs smokes up, but they've moved it into the B bomb site. So I think they've sold Cloud9 a fake, and they've got 3 players on A Cloud9, 2 on the B bomb site. Will these 2 be enough? Zelsis now on his own. He spots 1 player jumping out the window. Oh, he has a teammate here, and they will clean up Flusher and Zelsis. Kirishima getting a frag elsewhere. So a fake was suggested by FaZe Clan, but they had like almost no success anyway.
Indeed, you can see Automatic against Nico there. It's pretty early days in Mirage, and it has been going fairly well for FaZe overall. And we're just now seeing Zelsis come into action, and this is some of the stuff that I saw at Iwakara Masters, as Jason has suggested on the desk. You know, it seems as though he had been targeted a bit on that B-bomb site, but you can see there that he's very crisp with his aim and very convincing.
That was a 2 versus 4 for Cloud9 on the B-bomb site.
Yeah.
2 FaZe Clan players on the high ground in apartments and 2 in that short B position. So maybe reading that there would be a stack towards A because of the map control taken early by Cloud9 towards B. They'd play against that. They had the numbers, but they didn't get the kills.
Lots of discussion there on the FaZe side of things, as they, I imagine, would have absolutely expected. As you said, James, you know, things played out. It's a 4v2. I mean, that's pretty amazing. You're actually getting open aim battles against these CTs, but still somehow you can't get the bomb side. Definitely a really good turn of events for Cloud9 to bring them back into it, as FaZe are stuck on pistols, and Cloud9 have actually got an economy, and that's just the first time really in this match of Mirage. And we'll see if FaZe just can go contact B.
I think we may see FaZe try to victimize Zelsis in this CT half of Mirage for Cloud9. He's held his own so far. Olaf making his way through, runs on Zelsis' head, somehow still gets the frag. Maybe awkward mouse position for him. Big headshot from Olaf Meister, and it might be FaZe Clan's turn to enact revenge on essentially a pistol round, pistol buy for FaZe Clan. 4 versus 3. Olaf Meister taken out, and it seemed that Cloud9 were backing off. Maybe this spurs them on. A headshot from Automatic. Kirishima taken out, and it seems that Cloud9 might commit to this.
Yeah, they have money, so they can go for it. Automatic's doing more and more damage with his AWP. With the rotation coming in from Rush, he's key at this point because the AWP is pinning them down. Ooh, Automatic with a miss and a timely peek from Guardian. Now down to Rush with the AWP, and he can't get it done. It's Guardian to finish it off, and I have to say, it looked like Zelsis lost control of his mouse there or something, because he absolutely should have had the kill on Olaf Meister. Olaf Meister picks up the AK and immediately kills Flusher, and you can see it here. There's quite a bit of time for Zelsis to get that one. Oh god, that's tough. It's tough to lose a round like that.
It is indeed, but Faze have lost a round already with those pistols and HE grenades towards the B bomb site, so maybe all is balanced. Chaos serves both teams. Faze Clan in the lead. Adren will not win his duel with Flusher, and that's a lot of information. He's the only person lurking towards A, and Rush is checking ramp as well, so they're very quickly getting information. Faze Clan notice. Faze Clan's charging towards a B split at the same time. Automatic is in market. No one's in the B bomb site itself. Zelf is towards A. They're probably going to look for him. In the meantime, Automatic getting a pick off. Nico taken out. But will Faze Clan realize that nobody else is there? They're planting the bomb, so they must realize that now.
Flash and the repeat comes in, but there's surely too much position here for Faze. You can see Guardian just prowling around the cat position as all of Meister posts up in the B apartments, and it's gonna be tough, but with that kill and the AWP out of the picture, 5v2, Cloud9 can start to swarm and use the numbers advantage to try to make this round work. As Rain goes around the side of the door, playing that off angle. Nice snap. All of Meister doing great damage, but it's up to Rain. That bomb ticking away. If he gets a couple kills here, oh, in the face, Automatic. He's had some great AWP work, and if we consider he had no Kevlar, that is close. And the bomb defuse even closer, but it is good as Celsius secures it. What a round.
That is such a huge frag for Automatic. None of the players had a kit, the 3 remaining players. And again, considering the start of the situation, again, Celsius over towards A on that occasion. Automatic just holding for the retake. They had the numbers because the element of surprise worked out for them, him holding that angle. Not very often you'll see that kind of setup from a CT side. And that gets them over the line. 5-5 now. A second sniper comes out for Cloud9. Guardian will continue with one of his own. Seen some frustrating misses from both snipers so far. Again now from Faze, we have a big focus towards A.
Rush with that. MP9 getting the initial kill, but also the information, which is really important. 3 players on Cloud9 around the A positions. Deep on the bomb site are 2. So with Automatic, with that AWP in Palace, that's kind of interesting. We'll have to see if Faze can do something about this. They're all coming from a ramp. Normally not exactly a perfect scenario. As you can see, Kiyoshima takes down one by Sandwich, and they can't quite push onto position on the site. This is very awkward for Faze.
Rush saw Nico carrying the bomb as well, and Adren's the man who goes down on the site. They know that there's a reasonable chance that Nico is still there. Very awkward indeed. They continue to be held in position. Always good if you have those mid or late Molotovs to stop the T's from pushing out of the ramp. And there goes another one. Guardian taken out by Automatic. 3 players remain on the A bomb site. Zelsis has been holding on short this entire time. He's starting to move up mid now as Nico is rotating the bomb away. Perhaps Nico hears him. I think he has now. Has he spotted him though? Who has a superior angle? Nico knows that he's there. Jack in the box! But it's Zelsis with the hammer. That leaves Olofmeister 1 versus 4 to collect the bomb. 30 seconds. Not a great situation for him. Not much he can do. Many choices have been taken away.
I really enjoyed how Cloud9 got Automatic safely out of the Palace position, not risking a 1 versus 1 and just falling back into safety as he was about to be flanked. And it's like Olofmeister will just try to keep himself alive at this point. It's really awkward because this team has absolutely no money, and this is where Cloud9 can really take over the game. We'll see if they can get a big score on this half, but they should at least be able to get to 7 rounds here without too much contestation. They're going to have 3 AWPs now, James.
Why not?
Ooh, that's not a bad find, is it? Not a bad find at all. And this... Ooh! Okay.
Juicy.
That is nice.
Don't do it. Last game is punching himself in the head. So, no more punches, please. Hold his arm, Yanko. The man demands so much of himself. You have to respect it. 4 scopes, 1 being an AUG on the Cloud9 side now. Opportunist, but with all these pistols out, a fast swarm from Faze could be profitable. AK is collected by Nico. Flashbangs in the mid position. Cloud9 looking comfortable for now. They've got the slippers on and the smoking jacket. Let's see what Faze Clan can do. Kiyoshima spots a player. He knows there is a boost. Doesn't quite connect, however. Molotov will be a good deterrent.
Yeah, and there's not much argument for Cloud9 to really, especially with all the AWPs they have, there's no argument to really try to contest mid. They have all the range that they need with those AWPs, just controlling the side. You can see on your radars there at the top left of your screen, just the formation that Cloud9 have. It's very passive defensive. You can see that in case there is a boost through the window, Kiyoshima's watching the vents so that they can't get a backstab on. And if they were to try to go jungle or connector, well, you've got automatic ready around Ticket. And you got Rush as well, who can be a fast responder on the A-bomb side. So they have pretty much everything covered. They don't need to do anything, which is kind of important. You have to recognize when that is. So there's a quick flash over, but you see Rush takes a quick peek. He'll find one. And he'll spot 2 more players, information to the team. And you can see the push from Catwalk now, from Flusher. And he gets one in the back as well. So just very easy way to handle this. The most common thing in the world, isn't it, James, when you're playing a pug? Everyone's just like, oh, there's guys in mid. I can go and kill them. And I run into mid.
The schoolboy football. And everybody chasing the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's all you can do is watch. No one listens, and you just sit there in frustration. I play Danger Zone instead. The 3 AWPs continue. The 4 scopes continue for Cloud9. No losses in that round. Faze Clan trying to squeeze everything. At least it cost them utility. That's something. There are still some rounds to play for in this half. Score still close. 5 AKs. Not much in the name of utility for Faze Clan. Looking for another fast play. Quickly towards Connector, which used to be a Kiyoshima's job, but now he's stopping it instead with the AWP. That was the vintage Kiyoshima for Faze Clan back in the day. Now he looks towards Palace. He spots an elbow. Trying to put an arm in a sling, but he misses the shot.
Yeah, Guardian made his way up to the sandwich position. I do not know how that Molotov has not touched him. He's quite fortunate. And we'll have to see if the CTs don't think that he's dead because of that. And indeed, he's going to get the drop on the Flusher, but that flick is strong. It lands true, and that is now Faze with only 1 left with which to do anything about this round. And Adren, I mean, damage is, at this point, your objective, but it's looking very difficult to even get a single kill. This peek comes in, the shot is missed with the AWP. And now it's just a case of just trying to win that battle against the AWP, which is not going to happen, even though the AWP does miss. And they'll continue with 3 AWPs, James. Seems to be working.
10 men surviving the last 2 rounds for Cloud9. Again, this used to be Kiyoshima's job on Faze. He was so good at getting into Connector on the T side in record time, and now he's the one shutting it down against some of his old teammates. 8-5, 2 rounds remain in this half, and the money is rough for Faze Clan. They've taken a tactical timeout. The money averages $3,000 per person, which isn't quite enough right now.
Ain't enough. Yep, it's definitely not looking great. And with the way that Cloud9 started this half, I definitely didn't think it would be going like this. They've already warmed up. We saw a few errors, which really felt like they weren't focused. You know, we saw this push up from mid from automatic where he didn't even hit the shot, and if he did, he would have been traded out. And like the timing from Flusher in trying to assist him was kind of awkward. We see Zelsis, you know, where he sort of fumbled a defense there on B, which almost cost them the round. But beyond that, they've looked really smooth. Otherwise, they're really hitting a flow now. Oh, they gave up the triple AWPs though.
More nuisance offered by Cloud9. Oh, the meaty grenades behind it. The double wall by the burger with cheese. Too much cholesterol. Send the amber lamps. Olofmeister left in this eco. 1 versus 4. Again, just trying to eke out anything. At this point, he could take an AK away. Takes an AWP away, they could probably buy another one as we move into the last round of the first half. 9-5. Cloud9 separating themselves from their opponent. They do lead by 1 map. This is the pick of Faze Clan.
Indeed, full buy comes in, and the 10-5 is what Cloud9 are really geared up to be finding with the momentum that they have. But Faze perhaps still has something to mix it up with. I think they're just trying to get that mid-control. Kiyoshima's been somewhat of a nightmare defending it recently with the AWPs that he's been carrying, but he's back on a rifle now. So we'll see if that approach changes. But a quick push in through connector. You can see that Cloud9 really focusing on that mid-control, but Faze, 2 players pushing apartments, B apartments quite quickly here. Nice find from Adren. The trade is there with the Kiyoshima though. And there's lots of info for Cloud9 to realize. We'll start to put the pieces together.
Flashbangs, Zelsis has the trouble. Pulling out the CZ, how's he got time to even pull it out? He is going to be eliminated though. Now Plus has got more to do, but he can't get a multi-frag. And it could be round number 6 for FaZe Clan. 2 versus 3, this can quickly change. Kiyoshima maybe trying to bait a shot, he did, and he cost him. Automatic now, 1 versus 2. Looking for these players. He knows one has to be near that default position. How does he avoid getting traded? Pulling out the CZ is a good start. Spotting Nico close, but Nico will finish off the round for round number 6 for FaZe Clan. I love the style of play that we saw from Cloud9. The aggression, taking the game to FaZe on the CT side, setting the pace, showing no fear, and just showing massive amounts of confidence. That is really difficult to play against.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's interesting to see that, you know, where Cloud9 and FaZe were kind of winning rounds. You see that the mid approach was working really well for FaZe, or rather for Cloud9, so they kept going for that. FaZe sort of reacting by having 2 players in B apartments ready to spring on that B-bomb site, because, you know, typically if you're going to really put an emphasis on that A-bomb site, or rather, sorry, that mid-control as the CTs, you're going to probably only have one defender on that B site. So if you see that push, you can react then by a quick push into the B-bomb site yourself, and we saw that, and Zelsis was unable to get enough value. I have to say, you know, I'm always afraid to equip that CZ, because I feel like sometimes in certain scenarios, depending on your position, if you have to pull out your sidearm, you probably don't have much time to do it. And that switch time is so very long. But we're into the second half. FaZe Clan on the way back, perhaps, but can they win a single pistol round, Jay? So far, Cloud9 have won every pistol round in this series. Yeah,
that's not helpful if your name is FaZe Clan. Now they start on the CT side. P2000 on Guardian, the fashionista, if you will. The rest on the USPs. Olofmeister with 2 flashes. He's holding 1 for the B bomb side. This is actually a pistol run that Cloud9 used to do in the days of Tarek. You jump on the balcony and have a look-see. There's a great example versus NIV, which you can find online. And there's a lovely shot from Guardian to take out Rush as Cloud9 move into a split of the A site, planting the bomb for short.
Guaranteeing the money at the very least. Good defense from Celsius, taking down Rain on Ticket. 4v4 now as Flusher looks to try to find one. Oh, around the corner finds the Dren. And it's looking pretty bad again for FaZe. What is going on here with the pistol rounds? Kiyoshima just harassing their great positioning behind the bomb plant. This is so heavily favored here now for Cloud9. Nico is going to have to really do something special with the help of Olofmeister to make this one work, and looking to find one. Oh, Celsius gets it though. Olof with everything to do, and he's not going to be able to do it. Cloud9, 4 of 4 pistols.
Well then, I'd be surprised if we saw a force buy from FaZe here. I'd expect them to go for the rifles earlier. But indeed, it is ironic. Basically, FaZe did a classic Cloud9 pistol round. But to no avail, all the pistol rounds for Cloud9, it seems. Oh, they are going to go for the force buy after all, FaZe Clan. I mean, they are very confident. They've got the skill to do it, but CZs and a Deagle on Mirage, it's not going to be easy. I suppose they feel it's a necessary gamble to give themselves the best opportunity in this map, being a map down already.
Well, it's one way to win a pistol round. It's a pistol round of sorts. Here for them, a second chance, perhaps. And as you say, you know, it is FaZe. They're one of the teams that are very dangerous, or the most dangerous. In the past, at least, they were considered to be that way when they are buying pistols like this. So this extra economy that you get in the economy change is very helpful for a team like them to have this option. The question is, it's about surprise as well. Cloud9, if they play an anti-eco expecting just a USP save, they're going to be in for quite a surprise.
Meticulous map control taking from their teammates and so on. We've got a lurker asking questions. And Zelsis takes care of him. There's enough time for Cloud9 to move towards A, now that FaZe Clan know they're not currently there. And it seems that will be the order of the day. Bomb collected by Kiyoshima, Russian automatic and connector. Now, do the players on B move towards A if Nico is to die, or do they just try to hold on to what they have for the next rounds, where they've got a better chance of getting into better positions once again? I think it's probably the latter. Back of the head and dead. And we see minimal movement from FaZe Clan on that B bomb site, so Again, the gamble forced buy has not paid off, but they can do the same next round. It will, of course, be weaker because they need to keep the money together. But if they can survive, they'll get 2 opportunities. But it seems that they will be hunted at least by the SMG of Flusher.
Oh, you'll try at least. Let's see if you can make it work. Look nice throwing a smoke at it. That actually surprised me as well.
On edge.
Yeah. I like to see that nothing's going to be happening there. So it looks like they'll hold on to the Kevlar. They have, and Cloud9 11-6. They've bested the force buy out of Faze again on that CT side. We saw an overpass. Faze tried it, and Cloud9 also defeated it there. And here goes Flash. Nope, denied.
Great angle from Olaf Meister. Would you expect anything less? Positions himself at the point where his opponent looks away to see if anybody's towards B. Brilliant stuff. What's not brilliant though for FaZe Clan is 0-1 and 6-4-11. But yes, they have the 2 CZs. They've got the scout from the previous round. Didn't see much action. So opportunity number 2 is served. But of course, Cloud9 will limit the risk with the amount of utility they have. Kishima may have heard a player jump towards the Palace position. Starts to back off in case of a potential push. Got to be very careful. He has a teammate in tow, however. Zeltis may have shown the bomb, but it is of little concern because Kiyashima is cleaning house. He's bleaching the toilet.
Yeah, only 2 left now. Galil on a trend. And that Max 10 is going to be better at that range, it seems. Now just all of Meister left with the CZ, so not too much to be done here. 12-6 is soon to be the scoreline. As automatic finishes off Olaf Meister, and once again, it feels like a very similar situation as to what we had on Overpass. But I'm curious how FaZe will play this. Will they go passive, aggressive, do what Cloud9 was doing and just hit up that, heavy mid approach straight away, take that map control? And that could be really punishing. If the T side decide to go for a default straight away, that can be really punishing. Or if you try to push and open one of the extremities, another way to punish a default. The question is, will Cloud9 play a default?
Guardian has no Kevlar to go with his AWP. The rest of the team are well equipped in terms of weaponry utility. 3 players in mid for Cloud9. Very quickly into the window. This should be heard by Olaf Meister, who's in the ladder position. Adren's outside the crawl space, as you can see. It hasn't been opened up just yet. Flusher with the Mac 10 at close quarters. Catching Adren with a grenade in his hand, but not getting the kill. Forced away through the Molotov, and there's the first kill. It's Nico going down. Rain trying to defend the A bomb site, but he can't do it. Adren is in CT, but... Oh, okay. We've got 2 quick frags from FaZe Clan. I was wondering if it was safe territory, but it's a 3-on-3 now.
Flusher really wants this Mac 10 to do something. It looks a bit out of place in this round. Rush did a great job, though. 2 opening kills, a lot of damage as well on to... I forget which player it exactly was. I think it was Adren, actually. So Adren's on 28 HP by CT spawn. So Cloud9 in a really good position here. You can see Flusher going for a very long rotation to try to catch them with the flank and maybe get a kill out of that Mac 10. He's had a lot of action with it so far, but just no kills. So we'll see if this works out for him whilst his teammates are stuck on the bomb site.
Adren and Olaf Meister pushing the site. Olaf Meister's the man carrying the kit. Flusher's almost in a Virtus Pro position where you'd see someone like Pasha coming through the apartments late on with a scout or something, but maybe not a Mac 10. Either way, his teammates will pick up most of the frags and he will get that last one, Flusher, when all is said and done. FaZe Clan invested everything and they took nothing from that round. And it may be Eco Town for them once again.
Yeah, look at Rush go, gets himself in position up on the stairs. A quick 1-2 there. And... I mean, Flusher's play with the Mac 10, it looks really awkward because it's a Mac 10. But it works. He actually does so much damage. He's just such a nuisance. He was such a nuisance in that round against FaZe. It's really interesting. Either way, back on the pistols. It feels like that's just been the story for FaZe this entire series.
Zelsis waiting for a push, and maybe he'll get one. There are no flashes for FaZe. 2 smokes, 2 HE grenades. Rain is up near the Palace, but won't be venturing in just yet. Adren picked off, having a look towards B. Early pick in favor of Cloud9. I think so far in this series, they just seem to be the better prepared team. I mean, there are recent changes for... There's difficulty on both sides, of course. Adren being a new player playing for FaZe Clan at the moment, be it short term or long term. Obviously, Golden is out of action at the moment. We've got Zelsis here as well, but we saw, I think it was very telling when we saw an execute into overpass B from Cloud9 from Zelsis' POV running in, avoiding 2 flashbangs with perfect timing. I think it's just, you can see that the communication looks really good for Cloud9, and it is proving, well, it's giving them benefits to Mirage at the moment, and earlier on in overpass. A kill for Guardian, but I don't know how much more FaZe Clan will get from this round.
Yeah, Nico's in a decent position, but the opportunity to create a round-winning scenario is not all that likely. But we'll see what they can do. And Guardian does have that. Oh, that's not bad, is it? Oh, no. Oh, dear. That is... Oof. That's disappointing for Nico. Very disappointing for Nico. Bomb goes down, and if they had a chance, that should have been it.
It's really surprisingly awkward when someone is moving in a very erratic position like that, and you're trying to kill them, and it looks like you've got a free shot, but it's not so simple. But he still should have got the kill. The back is a big target from that range. And here we are. 14-6 will soon be the score for Cloud9. It is maximum loss bonus already for FaZe Clan, so they will have all the toys they want, but they don't have a single round in this half. And that is an issue, a very big one.
Yes. Maybe it speaks to the state of mind for FaZe at the moment. Feeling a little bit deflated or dejected. Other words beginning with D. And Cloud9 moved to 14. They're looking way more comfortable here than on Overpass, I must say. Despite obviously having that 12-3 start on Overpass, Cloud9, I feel like they still look more comfortable on this map. And maybe it's that FaZe look a bit more out of sorts. Either way, the double AWP will come in for FaZe, Guardian and Olofmeister to carry those AWPs. And Cloud9, they just have to keep on keeping on. They've found success in a multitude of ways. Here is a quick push in mid from Olofmeister, jumping up onto the fence. It's very nice, timing-wise. But it's a passive start from Cloud9.
Everybody's static for now. Cloud9 giving FaZe an opportunity to walk the plank, to hang themselves. Now we see some execution from Cloud9. It seems to be a fake. Again, we've got those smokes which would isolate an A player. Reyna's fallen back, so FaZe Clan see nothing, but they still hear grenades being thrown around the A bomb site. Adren starting to rotate away from the balcony on B, but Olofmeister staying close to short. Not quite sure what's going on. Celsius with the bomb in spawn, so it seems Cloud9 are playing off reaction, and it hasn't been much of one for FaZe. So what is the ultimate intention? We've got a lurker in Kyo towards B, we've got a lurker in Rush towards A, 2 players moving through mid, and while Celsius is in B apps, he could, technically speaking, still go towards A. That's becoming less and less likely.
Yeah, the time is really at a point where they are so committed into that B split. But they will take connector and make things still feel like it could be an A attack. Olofmeister holding down the catwalk position. These players now attacking the B bombers have to make it work. They're in a 2 versus 2 effectively as Olofmeister needs to get this kill. He gets it, turns around. The flick will miss, but still, it's a very labored approach onto the bomb site. Time is of the essence. These frags have to be fast, and they are, but the trades are coming in just as quickly from FaZe, and they'll shut it down.
A familiar position. 7-14, the same score was seen on the previous map, and FaZe managed to bring it back. Can they repeat history? A technical pause. People will sit with this tension. 7-14. I don't think the nightmares will be swirling for Cloud9 just yet. Automatic looks in good spirits. Very comfortable position once more. Nico reconnecting to the server. I think he was in the previous map as well, so we'll see what's up. Kishima 21 for 9, very comfortable versus his former teammates. Last map it was Rush and Automatic doing the heavy lifting. And for now Kishima is slightly ahead. His teammates averaging about 14-15 frags. I really enjoyed watching him. We're back in the FaZe Clan days on the T side of Mirage. Just the sheer number of times he would just charge into connector. It just seemed insane that he managed to get there again and again and again and again.
Yeah, it's really important as well to threaten those fast timings as well in those positions. You know, you force more defensive grenades early in the round from the CTs. You force more presence as well. Like, and if mid is smoked out, you know, you have to be scared of that. And sometimes that also pulls the cat player in the early timing more deep on cat. So then there's a guy who's alone on B, which gives you opportunities to like burst B and have a, you know, an engagement only against one player. So it has a, you know, it creates a lot of different scenarios that you can take advantage of on the T side. And here we can see that Kiyoshima indeed is absolutely killing it right now. He's doing a great job there for Cloud9, and right now it's Olofmeister who is... Everyone else other than Olofmeister is really struggling, it seems, to get that damage in.
Kiyoshima, he's been a consistent player for Cloud9 of late, and is looking good in this position at the moment. Looking to send FaZe Clan into the lower bracket. 2 rounds away from victory, Cloud9.
Yeah. Yeah, Kiyoshima actually one of the players French players escaping the French scene, because a lot of them, you know, we have all these like skilled French players sort of stuck in the vortex of French Counter-Strike, and things have been going not so well for the French teams at the moment. We've kind of seen them disappear completely from the top flight CS. But Kiyoshima, he was you know, biding his time, and he didn't want to go into a French team. He wanted to play in an international team. Obviously, he's been living in the UK for a very long time with his girlfriend. He speaks very, very good English, very, very good English.
He took our women down.
And well, at least, you know, at least he moved to the country and didn't take them away. But as in the past,
anyone.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really cool as well, because during the period where he was gone, he kept getting smacked with, you know, he kept getting branded as a player who was, you know, obviously the meme, the problem. But he's very smart. He's very all-rounded. Good with a sniper rifle, good with rifles, pistols. Very smart and very clutch as well. He's kind of the full package in that sense. So it's good to see that people can finally see that again.
He's the Christmas hamper. He's the pate, the cheese, the wine, and the posh biscuits. Looks like we'll be back into it, restoring the round, 7-14 once more. And away we should soon go. FaZe 2 rounds away from a 0-2 to start off this weekend here in Atlanta. Not the warmest, but always nice.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. FaZe. Here we go. Can they turn things around after the pause? They are on 7 rounds against the 14 of Cloud9. Once again, a big comeback is asked of them, and can they deliver it? It looks like they're going with a balcony burst. 3 players in the Palace position very early on, but will it work out here for Cloud9?
Waterfall of pots and pans, forks and knives. Spoons but no yogurts. Kiyoshima moving away from the fire towards B, showing some presence. Nice headshot from Rush, and Guardian's here to defend. He's going to find more targets. Zelsa's taken out. The bomb's on the floor now. He can see it on the radar, and that means a big rotation. Olofmeister may hear Kiyoshima lurking in the apartment, so he'll stay on short for the time being. Guardian just harassing, firing shots into the smoke. Got an elevated automatic, but that smoke will soon go. Spots the player, but can't get a kill. Bomb spotted again. Flusher now near the ramp, waiting for Kiyoshima to join him. And they're surrounded by 3, soon to be 4 FaZe Clan players.
Very nice from Guardian. He stopped that push by himself. He got those super quick kills, and that kind of makes the difference, because you can get 2 kills, but if the timing isn't very quick, then the T's maybe they've already gained some space. Maybe they've thrown more utility. Maybe they've bought more time for their rotation to come in and assist. But Guardian like shot those 2 players down so quickly that Cloud9 just didn't have the A site anymore, and there's so much time for the rotation. Beautiful work from him, and Cloud9, they've got to be so cautious of Guardian now moving forwards.
4 HEs from Cloud9. They've got the smoke, and they'll throw the HEs behind the smoke. See things like this from Astralis as well. Minimal damage, really. For the sake of 4 grenades, Guardian's got 70 HP, so they did not get much out of that. They were sold duds. Automatic will be boosted with a Glock. Not the most spectacular weapon in Counter-Strike, it's fair to say.
I love that boost position, it's so strong. See, catwalk, if someone comes in for a peek and takes a shot with an AWP, you can just jump on them whilst they're in the reload phase. But FaZe are playing it exactly like Cloud9 did in the same position. Very passive, very strong setup.
Celsius dropping the bomb in mid. Just having a look-see. Not showing the bomb to the opponent. But with limited players alive, bomb will now needs to be collected. Automatic's made his way into jungle, but Nico's in CT spawn essentially, so not much to do for him. Rain taken out on the site. If Flusher can get out, he could pick up the weapon. Guardian's got 2 places to look at, so perhaps there is more chance than Flusher may expect. But as Nico is moving over to cover for Guardian, that will change how he comes, and there he goes, leaving Automatic in a 1 versus 4. And he may not last very long at all. Loads of frags for Guardian. On to the next one.
I love the communication there. You can see that Flush was saying, hey, you make contact on ticket, and then I can wide swing. And if Nico wasn't there, Guardian probably dies. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to see that level of detail there on the fly. And if it doesn't work out for them, Faze do defends nicely. Guardian again, just this amazing anchor on that A-bomb site with AWP. And now they're up against the buy again. And this is where if there's an adjustment from Cloud9, we'll see it. And look at this. They're going to go for either... Are they going to go contacts? Got to be careful of the AWP. Faze are playing very, very far back.
Hey, with smokes into execution. Out they go. Quick burst from Rush. We've got blind players in CT spawn. We've got a frag for FaZe Clan. Molotovs flying out. Bomb needs to go down fast. There's a gap in the smoke, as you can see. Nico can watch the players going towards CT if they choose to go there, but he is susceptible to a potential spray as well. Bomb will get planted. Man advantage for FaZe. They're coming for the retake.
And that setup there on the ticket has worked out pretty well. Zelsus will get taken out and the bomb is planted open, but with 3 players left and so much utility in the hands of FaZe, this does not look very good. But that's a fantastic frag coming straight out of the corner. Keo with 2, and that is now going to give them a chance. Cloud9, maybe, just maybe, with those 2 kills, they can hold this as FaZe keep pressing forwards.
Flusher with a huge frag. That bomb is so far ticked though. Someone's got to hold it. Someone's got to be the hero, but there's no angle. Automatic missing the shot, but there's no way that Guardian can do this. He's got to scurry away with the AWP, and Cloud9 make it to match point. 15-9. 6 rounds away are FaZe Clan.
That was amazing from Kiyoshima. I am so impressed. He's a Molotov in the corner. He's forced to swing out. They know he's going to swing out. He still gets 2 kills from that position. And that was what tipped it over the edge for Cloud9 to be able to win it. And that is very frustrating for FaZe. They were 5 versus 3 with full utility on an A retake. Doesn't get much better than that, but they still lose the round.
Flusher with the Mac-10 again, trying to win by embarrassment perhaps. Nico going for a push in the middle area. 3 players coming out, so Nico will get 1. Can he get a second one? He can. This is absolutely ridiculous. Looking for a third. Nothing doing this jet. How has he managed to hold that against the odds, against match point? FaZe Clan are still in this, and all of a sudden, with a minute 30 on the clock, it's a 1 versus 5 for Automatic. This is quite shocking. What a massive play from Nico, but who else would you expect to take the game into their own hands against match point and come out with something ridiculous like this?
Yeah, that's big. That is big. Someone has to step up. Someone has to lead the way forwards. And who else but Nico? Automatic can get some damage in with this AWP and be a bit tricky, but Olafmeister has it covered. So 10 rounds for FaZe. And once again, they're trying to fight for overtime. And they did it once. They did it on overpass. And now they're here. They're going to do it again. And you gotta really hand it to FaZe. They have not had an easy time in this series. They've been playing against losing every pistol round, and here's another look at Nico's wonderful trio of kills. Rush unable to get it done. Nico certainly will get it done though. And there's actually a save here from Cloud9. Wow. Their money has been broken entirely.
Look at the impact of that. Well, now you start to sweat. Now the hairs will stand up. Now you start to get uncomfortable if you've got a C9 flare on Reddit. Starting to spread. Preemptive taps from Nico. And that will be a clean one for them. Money for grenades at this point. Of course, they can't lose any more rounds. 4 more rounds for FaZe. Can they do it again?
Deep breaths. Everyone has to get refocused, recentered. As those 4 rounds are not going to be easy to win. This one will be easier than some as they're against pure pistols and no Kevlar. But let's see what Cloud9 have in store for FaZe. Looks like they'll be splitting onto the B-bomb side. That could be what they're going for here. 3 towards top mids. No one towards A at the moment. We already saw this protocol from them, where they try to boost somebody up into the corner and try to play for those mid picks. But once again, it's just too difficult. Faze can just let them have mid. They lose nothing by giving it up.
Plant the bomb in mid. They got a crossfire. Some kills for Guardian. Some statistics. And it should be buy time for Cloud9. 3 rounds, 2 buys. Do the nerves set in? I mean, all the players you see, or almost all the players you see playing Tier 1 Counter-Strike have been in positions like this before. In a 13-2 position, a 12-3 position, on both sides of the coin, comebacks, trying to stave off a comeback. Does it ever get comfortable, though, for Cloud9 or for Faze? I think it can't. 3 players top mid for Cloud9. Nico is in the window, smoked off. Guardians towards A for the time being, and it seems like a fast split of the B bomb site for Cloud9, but this smoke is a problem, and Adren's very close to it. Easy avoidance of the pop flash for him, and Olofmeister is delivering on short.
Q does get that quick kill, close range though, leaving Olofmeister alone, naked on the bomb site to try to delay with that AWP. It's not an easy task, but he does have reinforcements now. This has taken too long for Cloud9, but still there's a fighting chance as Automatic will get the kill onto Olof. Now it's down to his teammate as well, Kishima on the site, but with that kill, Automatic's forced down low to try to get these kills. He will not be able to get a plant with these players so close.
Looking for something, anything. Trying to force issue. He's got to bait these players out. He'll bait Nico out, and Nico will rip his face off. And now FaZe Clan are 2 rounds away. Olofmeister again delivering on a short position, trusting his teammate with the balcony area. Lovely second frag from him. Then buying time, trying to hug the wall, waiting for the rotation to come in. And it's 13-15. Again, it's looking reasonable for overtime, but the statistics continue. Even if FaZe Clan are to win the map, it's always a close score of late, it seems.
And this is really interesting, like the setup for if there's if this matchup happens in the future. Let's say whichever one of these teams wins this one, and makes the run, it wins the following matchup, and then again, like the team that gets dropped down to the loser bracket makes it to the finals. Like it's set up pretty well because Cloud9 won every pistol. We can't forget that they've won every pistol. Of course, the pistol rounds do mean slightly less than they used to due to the economy change. But FaZe have done force buys on their CT sides every time they've lost a pistol, and that just makes that just ruins your economy. So FaZe on their CT sides have always had like these really rough starts, but here they've managed to recover so very nicely. And all they have to do now is win against 1 more buy round and 1 more pistol round. That's all they have to do to get overtime.
This time Guardians in the window, Nico and Rain on the A site. Rain 9 for 20, not the best game for him. Got to keep your wits about you. He's got good teammates to pick up the slack as well, and they have, bringing it to 13-15. Cloud9 looking to burst into the B bomb site. Adren is waiting, already is waiting. With no armor on these players, they will get cut to pieces. Hedgehogs and a lawnmower.
Ooh. That HE, it just like bounced against the lip of the window. Imagine if it went in, I think it would have been perfect. Would have lit up those Cloud9 players quite nicely, but doesn't really matter anyway. They are not looking too good here. 3 versus 5 with those Deagles. Typically with those Deagles, you try to find those opening picks, but once again, it's a very similar setup from FaZe. Very passive. You can let the T's have mid, doesn't really matter. Still have to go onto the bomb site and plant that bomb. And speaking of which, maybe they have the bomb site because we just have Olofmeister on catwalk. They know when he plays, but they can't find the kill with these measly Deagles. It will not be enough, and that is it. 1 more round.
This is the round you don't want to lose to FaZe Clan. You don't want to come all the way here to lose 14-16. It has been 5 rounds in a row for them. It's been 8 rounds from 9 for FaZe Clan after losing the first 5 in this half. They have taken momentum. They have strangled it, snatched it from Cloud9. And they are imposing their will on the second half of this game now. Olofmeister will begin in the window, and that is a rare pick in the middle window that we've seen in this game so far of Mirage.
Yeah, that's a huge problem for Cloud9. Obviously, you're on the T side, it's not as bad to lose a player, but typically if you lose a player and cannot get a trade, you want to gain some position from it. And okay, they're moving up mid, but this is still, you can see that flashbang comes in. Usually that's going to be indicative of the CTs trying to actually get space there, get peaks there, get angles, more forward angles into contesting mid. And there it is, Olofmeister gets the pick off with that AWP. And now they're 3 against 5.
You're expecting Guardian to be on A when you see Olofmeister in the window, but how do you expect Olofmeister to go from the window to short on Mirage in that period of time? That is pretty damn crazy. That's a huge impact frag from him. That leaves 3 plays for Cloud9, and someone's got to concede position to go and pick up the bomb later on. Less than a minute on the clock, so this is a very difficult spot for Cloud9, and it gets worse. The issues get compounded. Flusher remaining in mid, and now it's Flusher 1 versus 5. I cannot stress how crazy and impactful that rotation from Olofmeister is in such a crucial round.
Wow, and it's clean. It's so clean. And we're going to overtime. Faze, by the skin of their teeth, managed to keep themselves in this match and chance a 3rd map should they win the overtime. And here's that critical pick from Olofmeister on the timing. The flashbang came in a bit too late, and what a great rotation as well. And his teammates flashed so that if there was someone holding him, his position from chair, he'd be able to take that angle to then make that pick. So great team play from FaZe Clan.
Olofmeister is a goat. It's like a herd of goats, and he's one of the goats. You can pick whichever one you fancy. For now, I'll take Olofmeister. He is my goat. Waiting for overtime to start in the 2nd map of this best of 3 series. I think a lot of us want to see this go to Nuke. I think everybody who's not a Cloud9 fan right now, they are 1 map up at the moment. FaZe Clan will, well, both teams will come into this game, this round with intentions. Now, nobody wants to go 0-3 and face 3 game points or 3 match points, as it may be. FaZe Clan fully invested in this first round. They've gone for double AWPs, which is a gamble. If you lose by elimination in the first round with double AWPs, that's a lot of money gone. A lot.
Yeah, it's not fun. It ain't fun. And here we go. Overtime has commenced. Overtime number 1. FaZe Clan will continue on that CT side. Cloud9, they've been struggling of late to pick up rounds on this T side of theirs. So going with a very fast take of Catwalk. Look at this. The connector is smoked. Window is smoked. They've got very strong forward position there. What is the response here from FaZe? That's the question.
I wonder if Cloud9 were trying to suggest a split of the B bomb site with 1 lurker towards B. There was almost a rotation of a 3rd player towards B from FaZe Clan, but maybe a read that it wasn't what it seemed. Zelsis still playing passive in Palace and off angle, looking for an information play from FaZe Clan, but they've got nobody close. Rain in the sandwich position. Nico with his off angle towards connector. Guardian with the AWP. In CT, 1 minute on the clock, and Nico gets taken down. Rush with a superior angle. And that's minimal to no information for FaZe Clan, but now the bomb has been spotted, and the action can begin. Yeah,
that's a really, really big problem. Guardian by ticket with the AWP is, as long as he has support, if you can deal with the support, you can deal with Guardian. But looks like actually Automatic will do it, and Kiyoshima, very nice headshot coming out of the gate there as he pushes from Connector. The bomb can go down finally, but good frag coming in from Adren, taking down Automatic by Connector. It is planted towards default though, towards the CT side, and that's a critical frag to defend that bomb in the future. And with the Dren, the last man standing, and that jump, it doesn't look all that likely now for him. The flick comes in from Flusher, it's labored, doesn't look clean, looks awkward, people are jumping around, out comes the USP. Can Adren really do this?
I think he's got to go for this. He has a kit, and now he doesn't have anything else. And indeed, let's just recap. FaZe bought 2 AWPs in that round, and they lost by elimination. So they are going to be in for a really rough spot now. If they lose this round as well, the 3rd one is almost free because they're going to have very little to fight with. So we'll have to wait and see. But for now, they have another full buy. They've got Guardian on the AWP, the 1 AWP in this round. Will it be another 3-0 half in overtime for Cloud9? It's certainly a good start for them.
Yeah, it absolutely is. That was a really fantastic round. They really mixed things up well. Like the fake to bait out rotation as you talked about. And here goes a Faze play, mixing it up again. Mix up the pace, mix up the bomb site, and now Rain defending close and doing a good job. Oh, the Quickscope coming in, not going to do the job here. Rain still, how is he in that position? Out goes Flusher deep, and he will trade it out. But in comes Adren.
If Adren stands on the bench, He can shoot Flusher in the head if Flusher is standing, but that situation is not going to happen. You can see the bomb on the ramp. He spotted the bomb now, but he's conceded his position, and it's a free frag for Flusher. 2-0 for Cloud9. And now you await what kind of buy FaZe Clan are going to have. The best they can muster is 3,200 on a Dren, or 3,250 on Nico, so this is not going to be good. It's going to be pretty damn ugly. Tactical timeout.
Yeah. Can hear Yanko talking about slowing things down.
No, he's talking about what Cloud9 are going to do. He's saying Cloud9 are going to slow it down because they know they have the advantages and the money's going to be rough and so on. What do you even buy? 2 UMPs, 2 MP9s. Adren hasn't bought anything just yet. Yanko laying out expectation, options, early round options, mid-round options, late round. It's down to FaZe Clan in the server to execute. 3 UMPs, 2 MP9s, and a reasonable level of grenades. And I think his point about Cloud9 slowing it down, it might be Cloud9 are expectant of, let's say, a pop flash play somewhere from FaZe Clan to try and make up for the shortcomings in the weaponry and so on.
Yeah, and it's always difficult to know because if you have a very drilled team, playing it really fast can be really beneficial sometimes if you have a very drilled around. And speaking of which, they are actually taking some very forward position here on mid, where you could actually expect in a round like this, FaZe to push mid. So Cloud9 not afraid of that. And they are just slowly but surely working more and more position here. And there's a CT smoke to counter any connector control. You have to be really careful if CT's playing over that smoke. Rush will get tagged by a Molotov. Olofmeister definitely knows that he's there. He must. But the question is really for FaZe how they deal with this, because they can't really respond to this. They've got very little utility left to try to retake any of these positions.
Olofmeister on short, the man with the only smoke for FaZe Clan now. 1 minute on the clock. Seems Cloud9 thought it's important. See his, just gonna cut my point there because the way he was lining up the smoke for the top of connector, gonna explain for people at home, but never mind. Now we have a push, a pop flash play, and he will get the kill. Going for the gun as well, back off before they come and trade the frag, and that is a solid smoke grenade. And that's really hard for Cloud9 because the bomb is in B apps at the moment. Zelsisto, I believe, has just walked straight through the smoke, expecting a rotation from FaZe Clan, who don't know where the bomb is right now. And that could be really crucial information. 24 seconds on the clock for this bomb. And FaZe Clan are traveling towards the A bomb site. That's the only man towards B. And it might just be that 3-0 for Cloud9 in the first half of overtime.
Yeah, FaZe have to go for it. They don't have a kit. They did not buy a kit this round, which really creates a lot of problems here. Cuts out a lot of time for them to be able to do this one. But they, as you say, like this is the last round, they got to go for it. They do have an AK on a Dren, so maybe there's a chance here. Someone can get an opening kill. Could be a chance. There it is. A Dren from Catwalk with that AK-47. Opens things up, starts to pressure. They start to dart out of the door in the window. Response is strong from both sides here. A Dren looking for that 4th kill with that AK-47. Yet to take any damage. There's no kit though. He's got to go and chase the kill. That's the only way to make this one happen. Automatic does it. Cloud9. Pick up the rounds, and now they just need one more moving into the second half. One more to take.
Looking like a good addition for Cloud9 at the moment. Again, Golden still on the in the health ward or something. What do we say? He's away for health reasons, so who knows what Cloud9 will look like a month from now, 2 weeks from now. Waiting for everybody to ready up. 3 rounds required for FaZe. Otherwise, it's a 0-2 loss in the first match of ELEAGUE here this week in Atlanta.
I mean, the cool thing as well is like the versatility of the players on Cloud9, because like one of the strengths of the fact that they've been playing a year almost with just loads of different lineups, it means that loads of players, like loads of the core of Cloud9 have had to like mix up the positions that they play. You know, typically you used to see Flusher playing those positions as Zelsis has been on, like, you know, being the lurker, and they've just found different ways to maneuver their players and ways to mix up the roles that seem to click pretty well. So Cloud9, 18-15. They need 19 to take this match. Faze must win 3 in a row to force overtime 2 to stay in this one with a chance to win it and a chance to get Nuke as a third and final map in this series. And Guardian will open things up with a quick pick attempt and a fast connector approach here from Faze.
Again, this is Kiyoshima's playground. The smoke grenade will help him hold on to the position he hears. Grenades being deployed, looking away in case there's a flashbang. There will be a boost into the window. No one's covering this, and no one in CT keeping an eye on this. So this could be a surprise, but Flusher will take out Rain. What is the response from FaZe Clan? Automatic rotating towards the A-bomb site. Nico playing for information, letting him run out, taking him out now. Flusher moving back into the mid position. Kishima still causing problems. Traded as well.
Good kills coming in from FaZe, now down to 2 Cloud9 as they look to defend the A site, but still the pressure's on FaZe to actually plant the bomb. Big white peek from Zelsis, takes down Nico. High flash comes in as well for Cloud9 as they start to try to push this onto the site, but just still really struggling to get a forward position, but the bomb still needs to go down. They don't have to go any further forwards, but it looks like the peak is caught by Guardian, and Zelsis has nothing else to do but to play forwards, and Guardian's got the angle. Very well done by FaZe.
1 down, 2 to go for FaZe Clan. All eyes on FaZe Clan, I think it's fair to say, to see if they can continue to come back. It's been a series of comebacks for them in this match so far. We'll see if they can continue to do that, or if Cloud9 can close it out. They've got 2 opportunities to do it. Rush will pick up the AUG. Flusher, Zelsis, and Kishima going for the M4A4. Automatic, of course, with the AWP, and the money starts to get low for Cloud9 as they lose the first round in this half. Kishima charging up now, getting to the same as Nico. The flashbang is perfect for the team, and Rain takes Kishima down for free.
Yeah, it's not a bad look, is it, for FaZe Clan, but Cloud9 still have some options. It's very difficult. Sometimes you may just think, okay, well, let's just try to gamble it, stack 3 players towards 1 bomb site and see how well that goes for us. At least, let's say, rush deep on Palace. You know, that could be a setup that you could go with, but they're actually playing 2 a site, 2 a piece so far, and that's also a viable way to try to stop this. We saw them in regular time win a 2v5 on the B-bomb site with Zelsis and Flusher, so still trying to work out exactly what FaZe are up to, but they're not in a position to get much information. And FaZe looking to try to go for a push. And they've got plenty of time to do it as well. Making sure that everything's clear before they go in. And as far as they know, there could be players very, very close on that ramp. Sometimes that is going to be the play of the CTs, not this time, but they've got to be careful about that.
Guardian was asking if he should smoke CT on A. Flusher moving close to short, Molotov out for the time being, and FaZe Clan will capitalize on that timing. 3 players coming through connector, smoke going down, a shot being missed. That was really crucial. 24 seconds though. There are CTs, that's a massive problem. Zelsis may have just won this match for his team. Big spray from Rush, the bomb is down, and now it's down to a trend. He is sandwiched. There's the first one, but he can't get a second. And there is the match for Cloud9, 19-16 on Mirage versus FaZe Clan, and they move forward.
Really, really well played. That was really interesting to watch for both teams. You got to hand it to FaZe just a little bit though, just because they lost all the pistols, and that's really difficult to recover from sometimes. But Cloud9, they played really well, and I love to see how Zelsis is solid in the team. Lots of cool flanks, lots of really nice holds, some fumbles here or there, but overall very good impression for me.
Indeed, I think they were the more prepared team. They had the stronger executes, at least on overpass, looking really solid with great timing. And despite the comeback attempts from FaZe Clan, it is a 2-0 for Cloud9. I thought they had to take it in 3, they took it in 2, and Nuke will have to save for another day.
Indeed, indeed. It's time then for a break. We'll be back with the desk. Stay with us.